And welcome to the Ramblers podcast. Welcome to the Ramblers podcast. This is episode 22. Yes. 22.
Oh, is it on? Are we recording?
Yeah, we're recording.
I didn't realise that.
It's cool. We're going to do a comedic
I didn't
cut.
see it all. When did you start recording?
Like 5 seconds. Oh, 20 seconds ago. Yeah. About that long ago.
A minute ago.
A minute ago. Okay,
Yeah.
my perception of time is not good.
See, look, 49, 50, 55, and a minute, yep.
Jesus. Alright, so yeah, welcome to the Rams podcast. We talk about movies, games, and anything else that's cool. I got Danny with me again.
How's it
I got
going?
Eric with me again.
Howdy.
How you guys going? How you guys doing? Oh, and you got your host Kai. No, how's everyone doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm tired.
Are you tired? Why are you tired, Danny? Do you have a problem with sleeping? Is that why you're always tired?
Yeah, probably. I just don't.
I'm dripping water everywhere.
I just don't sleep.
That's
my problem. No, I do. I clearly don't have a good enough sleep.
Yes. How you going, Eric?
Yeah, doing pretty well. It's a bit humid.
Yeah, it's
a bit humid over the past few days.
Yeah, we had like it was a storm. We had a pretty beefy storm.
We had the tail end of a cyclone that was happening up north near us.
Yeah, and like I saw this great meme that depicted it. It was like Perth weather is like that dude that goes to Melbourne and then comes back with all these great ideas about how Perth should be. That's like exactly what it was. It was like really hot and then out of nowhere this massive storm coming into it, and then we've had humidity for the last 3.5 days. It's been pretty brutal. But I would take humidity over scorching heat any day. I don't know. Like
No,
I find it easier to deal with.
I hate it with a passion. Like, you constantly cannot get dry. That's the problem, is that humidity causes everything to be wet and gross, and just your hair just becomes soggy, like the walls. If you don't have the right air conditioning, the walls can just become wet. Same with the floors, everything's slippery. And the only way you can cool it down or dry it off is with fans, and if you can't use your aircon because it's vicious cycles. You just have to have fans on in your entire house.
The humidity is pretty bad. I do despise it. Yes.
You need to have the right machines, and obviously also West Australians are not made for humidity because we don't get humidity usually. We're not near the northern...
We just get brutal heat.
Yeah, which is, it's annoying as hell, but I would much prefer it over humidity.
Yeah.
So that's my rant for the day. Humidity sucks.
And with that, so today we're going to be talking about... got some movie news and game news like we always do. But we were talking about Tom Holland, the guy who plays Spider-Man, and Peter Parker has been rumoured to be
Peter Parker, for anyone who didn't figure out what that was.
Assuming our audience is dumb, Daddy?
Yes.
Jesus. Wow. Anyway, yeah, so we got that. He's rumoured to be in Venom, the character of Peter Parker. And we're talking about that. We also got some game news. We got the fact that we're going to be getting a new Alien shooter game we're going to be talking about.
Why, really?
Yes, and
cool.
we're going to be getting what was that bit of game news I decided to talk about?
Last sequel.
God of War?
Yeah, God of War.
Wait, less sequel?
No, I'm joking.
He's making a joke. That's the joke. No, the God of War collector's edition has been announced. As of recording, it was announced today. What day?
I chose. We don't have a full name for the new game yet.
It just says God of War.
I think it's just gonna be called God of War.
Because it's supposed to be.
Not.
It's supposed to be like. Again, like
a pseudo remake, essentially.
Yeah, but it's not.
No, don't do it.
I'm a bird. No, don't do it.
Because it is a continuation.
Yeah. And also the main point of this podcast we're going to talk about today is we all three of us literally just got out of seeing Guillermo del Toro's new movie Shape of Water. We saw it an hour ago. So when we talk about that, give our thoughts. So spoiler free and spoiler filled as well. So like how we usually do it, if you haven't listened to our podcast before, we talk about without spoilers, and then the point will be like, yo, there be some mad spoilers, and then that's when we talk about spoilers. I was gonna say that's when we talk about Star Wars, but no.
No, I'm sick of... Let's not talk about Star Wars. I don't mind talking about Star Wars. I just... it gets a little bit... If you talk about it for
it's no longer fun anymore. Like that's...
Well, the problem is because... It's no longer fun. Yeah, it's no longer fun to talk about it because there's just so many angry people in the world that just...
Last Jedi ruined talking about Star Wars.
Yeah.
which is sad because you shouldn't do that. But you know, that's a podcast for another time. But yes, what have you guys been up to? You guys been up to anything before we get into the?
Shall we leave that for the end?
True, yeah. Well, yes. All right, so we'll talk about our news part first. We'll do the Tom Holland. What is it? Tom Holland. My brain is not working. Tom Holland appearing in Venom, possibly. It's rumored, not confirmed. It's rumored that the character of Peter Parker will be appearing in Venom. What do you guys think?
So do you mean as in Peter Parker, but no Spider-Man?
Yeah, so no Spider-Man, but just Peter Parker. What do you guys think about that?
Isn't Peter Parker Spider-Man?
Oh, fuck. Yeah. So, like, I don't know. What do you think about it, Danny?
I'm interested. I mean, I don't know why they would have. I mean, I get because is Venom Spider-Man's like.
You should know. You're a Venom fan.
No, but I'm trying to figure out, is Venom Spider-Man's most popular like villain, or is it like
one?
That's what I was thinking of. Like, I mean, he's probably because yes, like from all the comics that I've read. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I figured out that it does seem like Spider-Man is connected to Venom.
Well, obviously.
Well, he is. There's an emotional attachment to them.
Yeah.
And poor Venom gets the short end of the straw all the time. I
wouldn't say short end. Venom's done some pretty awful things.
Oh yeah, but you know
he is a villain after all.
Yeah, but you know I sympathise with the broken and villains of the world. I like Joker. I like Venom.
Yeah.
I like.
Well, you can say that, but I wouldn't say they got the short end of the straw.
Oh, just more in
like
his
Venom.
In his good way. In his good
Venom
days.
killed people, and not by accident. He was pretty brutal about it.
In his good days, he got the short end of the straw.
Yes. What do you think about it, Eric? What do you think about?
Well, you know, Tom Holland being in Venom is one thing. If they actually end up making Venom,
well, it's happening. It's greenlit.
It's great. Are they actually going to make it though?
Yeah.
It's greenlit. Like I still don't have like much faith for them actually making it.
No, it is definitely happening. It is like filming and everything. Like there's.
As I say, if it's greenlit, but I have to make it.
Well, yeah, but
that just means they're green to go ahead, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they are filming though. Like they've been filming, not for a long time, but they've just started filming like recently.
We shall see.
Yes, I'm keen. Like I'm not surprised. Like everyone's like, oh wow, look how cool. But I'm like, we all knew. Not we all knew, but I had a strong feeling he would show up in this anyway, because it's Venom. You can't have Venom. Well, you can, because there's comics that have him, but, like, you kind of need him for... Like, you kind of need Spider-Man for the story.
A movie, yeah.
Yeah, and, like, if you've got Tom Holland, why not use it? It isn't even really a main character, but, like, that's when they said, oh, he's in it. I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Yes, but, like, is that... I know we've talked about the Venom movie on the podcast before.
Yes.
But, like... What are you guys excited for?
I am, like, I can't not be excited about it because it is Venom.
Yeah.
And so I'm very keen to see, like...
An R-rated Venom. Ooh, with Carnage pretty much confirmed to be in it. Ooh.
So that's kind of cool.
That'd be cool. Possibly trash, though, because CGI.
Do you reckon that's going to be how Peter Parker's going to play into it? That Peter Parker's going to be Peter Parker, but being taken over by, like, Carnage or something like that?
No.
Not even for like a split second?
No, because Carnage, that's not how...
Or not even Venom, or
because,
like...
well, the whole
maybe
appeal...
Venom's going to work with
the whole
Peter
appeal
Parker?
of, like, Carnage isn't just the symbiote.
Yeah.
It's the person behind it, which is, like...
But, I mean,
Cletus
Carnage...
Cassidy.
Yeah.
So, there wouldn't be point... Carnage wouldn't be Carnage if Peter Parker got control of the symbiote. It wouldn't be...
Oh, wait, no, sorry, yeah, I know. That wouldn't make sense, no. But maybe Venom working with Peter Parker.
Well, that's what I feel like would happen, but it wouldn't be like... I feel like... you said off podcast, Eric. It might just be like a... Because in Eddie Brock and Peter Parker work at the same...
Daily Bugle.
Daily Bugle, that's it.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And even if we don't see that he is working for the Daily Bugle, it could be a thing where, like...
He just, like, takes some photos and just hands them in.
Yeah, and then Eddie Brock's just like, mate, what are you doing? Because Eddie Brock and Peter Parker don't get along. They are not friends. So I feel like that's what might be the capacity
Wait,
of
I thought Eddie Brock and Peter Parker are friends, but Spider-Man and Venom aren't.
No.
Oh, okay.
They like get along, but not in like a sense of like, yeah, we're bros. They're kind of just like, and like pretty pissy towards each other.
Yeah.
Because they both work at the same job and they're both constantly trying to one up each other, and all that stuff. But like, yes, I know. Thanks for touching them and making them itchy.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Idiot. But yes, there's that. Is there anything else anyone wants to add to the possible Tom Holland appearing in Spider-Man shenanigans and all that?
Oh, pretty indifferent about it.
Yeah. All right. So we're on to the that's the only bit of movie news we got because there wasn't really much else. But we're on to our game news part, and that is the fact that my mind's not working. We're getting a new Alien shooter game.
Yeah, I'm a little bit.
So thoughts.
Cute.
Yeah, I'm not particularly keen on, a new Alien shooter just because, I mean, they haven't really made any good ones.
Yeah. But I feel like
I was gonna say
this could be a chance to make.
was...
This could be a good one though.
Yeah.
There's a chance.
I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see how it is. Like I'm not gonna
play
go
it.
out. Well, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see how like the game is gonna be because I'm not gonna go out and buy it straight away.
Yeah.
Because I've been.
Well, yeah. There's no details. They just said that it is happening.
Yeah.
What would you guys want from an Alien shooter game?
Shorter than Isolation. More. I was gonna say maybe. I don't know. I just know shorter than Isolation.
Yeah, I mean, I did kind of enjoy from what I played because I stopped playing Isolation like halfway through just because, I don't know.
It's so long as well.
Yeah, I think that's what I got through. It got to a point where I felt like I was halfway through the game and I only was just trying to avoid the alien, like, at that point. Yeah, I did kind of like the spooky aspect of it.
I feel like
If they used that
this
sort
could
of
be like
horrorness, but yeah, make it shorter.
this could be a cool like hybrid of like having an action-packed, almost Doom-like game, but put a horror aesthetic of Alien on it.
That would be cool.
Don't try and make it a because it is very sort of like Amnesia, Outlast-esque. It's clearly what's inspired it, but at the same time they're like, no, we have to make this into a full game. They want a bit overboard, so I guess just take their inspirations from other horror games.
Yeah, I feel
good.
like I feel like I don't know what I prefer from this because we got Aliens Colonial Marines, which is from what we've heard a massive pile of trash.
Oh yeah.
Like one of the worst games ever made. It made everyone go, hey, we can't trust E3 trailers.
And we definitely can't trust Gearbox.
Exactly.
And we definitely can't trust Randy Pitchford.
We definitely can't trust Take-Two.
What did Gearbox do?
The one thing that comes to mind is Borderlands.
Oh, okay.
And
They also did Aliens, Colonial Marines, Battleborn,
yeah.
Duke Nukem Forever.
Oh.
Don't forget Battleborn. Oh.
Yeah, no.
The most forgettable game of all
Apparently
time.
it's supposed to be like people like it, but it was just so poorly,
poorly timed. Yeah.
poorly timed. Yeah,
Yeah.
Randy Pitchford had some pretty shit stuff to say regarding that.
Yeah. There's that. I don't know what I would like to have like I wouldn't want this to be like another. I think the fact that they've used the word shooter is a bit telling of what like this might be a shooter, because I wouldn't call Isolation a shooter game.
No.
It's a horror game.
It's a survival
with
horror.
guns and
With a couple of guns, primarily one gun, but
Which you can't actually. Oh, you can't kill the alien. No.
yeah. But I feel like they might be trying to do an Aliens where like they made an Alien game that was so close to the movie that it was great. They might be like, let's make an Aliens game
When
that
did
is
they
so
make
close
the
to
alien game?
Isolation.
Oh right. Oh.
And because Aliens is, the popular one to make games out of.
Yeah. So like they could be like, all right, let's make like this balls to the wall, like
Yeah, because Alien
Fist
1.
Fight the Queen game.
yeah.
Because Alien the movie is more suspenseful, and then Alien 2 is more action.
It's a straight up action movie.
Yeah,
But
and it's really cool, the way they did that.
Not dissing, yeah, because I love
no,
Aliens is my favorite of the two.
They both, in their own right, are great. Like I like both of them equally.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
They're both great. I would want this to kind of be like a Doom.
Holy crap, we did an Alien Cube game.
Oh.
Or better yet, an Alien Resurrection game.
Oh god,
Which we've already gotten. Actually, we have gotten.
Isn't Resurrection
Oh, yeah.
where Ripley's like half alien?
No, it's where she dies and they make a clone of Ripley,
Yeah.
and then she has a human xenomorph. Like that looks
that's
really
right,
weird.
yeah.
It's the worst of the.
Yeah, it's terrible to be fair.
Like Alien 3's bad, but it's got moments of being like.
Oh yeah.
I don't agree that. Actually, I don't mind it. I've never hated it as much as everyone else.
I don't hate Alien 3.
But like I didn't really think the whatever the assembly cut was it?
Yeah, the assembly cut.
Was made it that much better.
Yeah, it's one of the things where like it's a little better, but not better. Like I've seen the assembly cut and the theatrical cut, and I do think the assembly cut is better, but not like it fixes the. I don't think there's ever except for Blade Runner and Kingdom of Heaven, which funnily enough are Ridley Scott movies. I don't think director's cuts usually fix broken movies.
Oh yeah, they just add little bits to them.
Like everyone's like Batman v Superman would be a lot better with the director's cut, and then the director's cut just made a 3-hour long mess. Made a 2.5 hour long mess a 3 hour long mess. Didn't fix it. And like Lord of the Rings, I wouldn't even call it director's cut. That's
not
like
a director's cut. That's just an extended cut that they obviously.
that's
got
just like
rid of.
that's like the movie they wanted to make.
Yeah.
The movie they wanted to release but couldn't because of theaters. So they were like, well, that's why they really made their theatrical cuts. And they're like, all right, now we'll release the cuts we wanted to. And they do make the movie better, but you're not missing out.
No.
Like,
There's a couple of scenes which kind of, as someone who hasn't read past the first Lord of the Rings.
oh yeah, I think Return of the King is one of those that
Confession.
if you're not watching it in extended cut, Return of the King, you are missing quite a few things. But with Two Towers and Fellowship of the Ring, you're not missing that much. You're kind of just getting extra. There's like the theatrical cuts of the Lord of the Rings trilogy are pretty great.
Yeah.
But the extended cut is just a little bit more. But like with a bad movie, a director's cut doesn't usually fix it.
No.
It's just Blade Runner and Kingdom of Heaven, which aren't bad movies, but the director's cut fixes a lot of the flaws in those movies.
Have I seen Kingdom of Heaven?
No, I don't think you have.
You didn't end up showing us. Did you?
Yeah, because it's a 3 hour. The director's cut's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And I love Kingdom of Heaven. I know like Kingdom of Heaven's one of those Ridley Scott movies that it's either loved or hated. Like no one is like there's not a consensus on it where a lot of people are like, man, Kingdom of Heaven is like the best, but like a lot of people are like split on how.
My family has seen Kingdom of Heaven.
I love Kingdom of Heaven. I think it's one of Ridley Scott's best movies, and it has the best Orlando Bloom performance.
Has it got Orlando Bloom in it?
Oh,
What about Pirates of the Caribbean? Dead Man's Chest.
oh, the best Pirates of the Caribbean. I hate it. Yeah, it's got Liam Neeson in it for a bit. It's got fucking Eva Green. She's in it.
Who's Eva Green?
She is the Vespa from Casino Royale.
Haven't seen Casino Royale in a long time.
What's something that Eva Green would be in that Danny would know? Yeah, you haven't seen Sin City 2.
Let me Google her because I might know her
Have
face.
you seen the second 300 movie?
Yeah.
She's the main villain of that.
Oh. Still don't know her.
Oh,
But
God.
Oh, her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's in it. There's a lot of.
Yeah, she's the one that's always. She's been like a witch or something.
Yeah,
Or like a
She's been in like so many movies.
like a necromancer or something in some film.
In some film.
She was in with Lena Headey. Because Lena Headey was also in 300, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's Spartacus's. Well, Spartacus.
Yeah.
Leonidas' wife.
Yeah.
And her and Leonidas have a mad sex scene in the first movie.
Mm.
That's all I remember from 300. No, I remember all.
Do you remember the scene when he kicks a dude down the hole?
That is true.
Oh, she's in The Golden Compass.
Yeah, Eva Green's in a lot of movies. But anyway, so back to Alien. I'd be keen if this was like a Doom clone in a sense, because like there is an old school Doom clone that is an Alien game, which is called the Alien Trilogy on PS1 or Alien Quadrilogy on PS1. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, the one where you play as the alien?
No, it's a first person shooter. It's like a Doom styled first person shooter, but it works really well. There's that. Or I don't want it to be like another. It could be an Alien Isolation sequel for all we know. But I think the fact they said shooter is really telling of the fact that I think this will be like a Doom or like a first person shooter in the Alien. I'd like to see a Colonial Marines done right. This is what that could be, because the potential is really high. Have like a squad based
Yeah.
like you have to work with a squad, but I don't want it to be like a pointless thing. What would you guys want for this to be?
A good shooter. Like, that's just as is, you know, like something that's not...
It has to have a level of unique... Because we're in that part in the games industry where, like, you can't just make a
Another open world game with a bunch of collectibles and shit.
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
yeah, looking at you, Ubisoft, and you.
Well, I'm more just saying
But-
for the Aliens franchise, like,
But I mean,
excluding...
But I was saying, like, in this day and
Maybe a Prometheus game, anyone?
in this day and age, you can't just make a serviceable game anymore, because we've seen so much of what games, like, we've seen so much of what can be done.
Yeah.
You can't just make... It's not like the PS3, Xbox 360 era where you can just get away with making a first-person shooter. Now that doesn't work. You have to actually make your game unique. Because otherwise it just doesn't do... Like, there'd be no point going out and picking it up.
As I say, well, in that case, just don't make it.
Well, I say the potential's so high, though. You can make a great FPS.
I don't know how, like...
Make it so, like do what Isolation did, but do it for Aliens. Do it, like, have it so rooted in what that was about. Like, a whole... You're in a no-win situation. You've got your plasma rifle. You've got all your gear you need. You need to try and find a way out, and you have to kill your way out.
It's like a survival shooter.
Yeah, but not boring like a survival shooter, if you get what I mean. Because I'm not a fan of survival shooters.
What games are defined as a survival shooter?
Like Left 4 Dead and, like,
Oh, yeah.
that really boring...
I don't know how I call Left 4 Dead a survival shooter.
Yeah.
It is just run from area to area and not die.
You just shoot stuff.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
Well, that game that got announced at the Game Awards that looked really generic.
Oh, yeah.
That sci-fi horror shooter that looked so boring.
I don't remember.
Yeah, that's probably why. Cause
It looks like a Left 4 Dead-esque game.
It
but
was
sci-fi.
yeah. But, like...
Was it made by...
No, it wasn't made by Valve.
No, like Turtle...
Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
People that made Evolve.
Ugh. Don't know, Evolve could have been such a good game. Like,
Yeah.
the concept was so tight. It's just the execution was trash. But yeah, that's what I want, like a Doom-styled alien game, where it's just a balls to the wall. You got to survive against aliens. You got your guns, and you got your group. You got your squad. Maybe make it like a multiplayer focused, not multiplayer, like a co-op focused game. Where you do have to work. Essentially, just take what Aliens Colonial Marines should have been and make that. Just make what they were meant to make, and then maybe wrap a tight story around it. Just so it's not pointless. But I don't know, what would you want, Eric, from this supposed alien shooter? Like, what type of alien game would you want out of this?
Well, like I said, not... I guess do something different to Alien Isolation.
Yeah, I don't want that, yeah.
I don't really want a Doom game out of it.
Oh, yeah.
I just want, I don't think it needs to be that action-packed. I think they still can make it scary, because...
Yeah.
It is a bit hard to, I guess, make a convincing alien game when you're just mowing down aliens.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think of that. I mean, it'd be cool to have, like, an intense shooter game where it's just, like, you have to mind ammo and, like it's not... Maybe not Doom, maybe, like, a good... What's a good middle-of-the-way shooter that's not full Doom, but not full realistic BS?
Spec Ops The Line.
Maybe, like, Spec Ops.
No, it's going to be first person. Spec Ops The Line is good, though.
Yeah, but, like, something like that where it's, like... I don't know. But that's a good point. Like, dude, anyway. Anyone else got anything to add to the Alien game?
I hope it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want
regardless.
it to be good. Because I like Alien games. They're... Nah.
I think the only Alien game, Alien-centric game I've played, I haven't even played a lot of it, and the only one I've enjoyed is Isolation. Every other one I haven't liked. So I've played AVP and I couldn't stand it.
I loved AVP. AVP was my
That's bad,
favourite.
do you? That?
Yeah, no,
That's
I
a
had it.
cat.
Really?
Was it actually?
I think so. Couldn't be a cat. Or TV. People in this house are loud. Yeah, I think it was a cat. Or it was our neighbours yelling at each other. They do that a lot as well. Langford, the suburb of
Not being good.
of domestic abuse and drugs. No, yeah, like
I liked AVP.
I
liked
I don't mind AVP.
I liked the Alien campaign. The Predator campaign
so
was cool.
I hated the Alien campaign. I couldn't stand it.
Really?
It was the one the human campaign was boring.
Yeah, no one
The
liked
Predator campaign was awesome. I loved the Predator campaign.
Although you were a bit underpowered.
Yeah, you were. Like, death was a bit too easy.
Yeah.
But the Alien campaign, I don't think I enjoyed a single second of it.
See,
Despite putting facehuggers on.
Which has no point.
Yeah, because, like... And also, the aliens don't carry facehuggers on them, so that doesn't make sense.
It's supposed to be like, one just conveniently comes up.
Exactly.
See, the one that I liked, the reason I liked the Alien campaign was the fact that you were given, like, it was a sense of, I don't know, when did I play it? I was like
Like 08.
No, it was 2010. It came
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was like 14.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that kind of,
time.
so that like for me, the fact that being able to maneuver through the world not as like a standard human being type
Yeah.
person, like trying even the idea of having to leap between like buildings and that, it just didn't seem fun because I'd already played Prototype, which is something similar. Playing as the alien, where I could literally be upside down on the wall, on the roof, sorry,
Yeah.
and not be spotted by anyone, and be able to essentially plan out my attacks and then be like, oh, I'm attacking it, and then go hide back up. Kind of like a real alien would do.
Yeah.
It's fun. It just seemed like a cool concept.
It's
to
cool
me.
in concept. I could never wrap my head around the controls.
Oh, yes.
It was so clunky. Like, the amount of times I'd try and jump to a wall or, like, a ceiling, either I would go halfway and it would stop and I'd land,
Really?
or I'd go halfway, land, and then I'd bug out, I'd hit a texture or something, and I'd go through a wall. Or it'd be like, if you go on the ceiling normal spot, you'd go on the ceiling, and they'd be like, there's an alien! And I'm like, the game told me I wouldn't be spotted if I go on ceilings.
One of the 4 voice actors
You were
said that.
probably
Yeah.
in the light.
But even then, like,
that was the thing, yeah.
and the combat with the alien was so clunky. It was just mash trigger, and you just watch your claws just go.
Yeah, he's more of a stealth attack character. He's more of a stealth build.
Yeah, but even then, like, it was just really. I never enjoyed. I love stealth, but I never enjoyed playing as the
See,
alien.
I wrapped my head around those controls. Like,
I did as well, yeah.
I could not get good at it, and it just. It also felt like the out of the two.
No wonder you've never finished a Souls game.
I could never. Out of the 3, it had the most least interesting story.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Oh.
Like, it was just, you're an alien.
Also, the Queen's character model was like
Trash.
the worst thing I've ever seen. I can't believe. I don't know why it was so bad.
Yeah.
I didn't play it for the story.
Yeah, but, like, I just found the alien wasn't fun. As with the Predator, it was just so fun to use all that gear and gadgets and how brutal.
See, I
how
liked-
brutal.
To be fair, the aliens' executions were probably the most brutal.
Oh yeah, you like rip somebody's like freaking spine out
No, that was
from
the
their
Predator.
head.
That was the Predator.
That's aliens. Oh, sorry,
Aliens
yeah.
still had some brutal ones.
Yeah,
though.
they do. They
'Cause
do.
you went through the back of the head, through
Yeah,
the
you
mouth.
could use the
and
tail
then-
to do stuff.
I think it's also, I've always preferred Predators to aliens, just in general.
See,
like,
I'm the opposite. I prefer much more. aliens
I've always
than
just found.
Predators.
'Cause I like badass.
Predators are better to play as,
Yeah,
for sure.
I like badasses in store in things like I love the alien is the definition of monster. It is a
Yeah.
monster, but I love how
It's the
that
perfect killing
yeah.
machine.
But the predators are like the most badass monsters. We're like they're like these just hunters, and
Yeah.
they're the best hunters ever. So I found I connected more with playing the Predator more because it was like, oh, now I'll use my stick and throw it at someone, and then that dude saw me, so I'll go invisible, run around a building, come up behind him, impale him, and then use like it felt like just more like I was a Predator. As for Alien, it was me fighting the controls and me being like, it was cool for like 2 minutes, and I was like, this is janky. And then,
Just as like a side note, don't get me wrong, I love the Predator character. Like
yeah,
because I love the films. I love it.
I love the film.
Yeah,
Oh, actually,
I should love Jacob Black's The Predator.
yeah,
Is that his name? No, Shane Black, isn't
Shane
it?
Black, yeah.
Not Jacob.
Okay, so I liked the film Predator, the original one.
Predator. What is everyone's? I know you're not big enough, but what is everyone's opinion of Predators?
Oh, the new one,
Yeah, the most recent that isn't
the one
new.
that came out in like 2010.
Yeah.
Nah.
Do you like Predators though?
I don't mind it. I liked it more when I first saw it. It's got
Yeah.
some good practical effects in it.
Yeah, I really enjoy Predators. I think it's a really. I think Predator. The first Predator movie is perfect. Like, it is such a great movie. And then Predator 2 is like so bad, so
I don't think
bad.
I've even seen Predator 2.
You know, I think I mentioned on the podcast, but you're not missing out.
We should watch it sometime.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to. I hate it. It's got a cool Bill Paxton character, but that's it.
Bill Paxton in that as well.
Yeah, he's in both. He's in Aliens and Predator 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually really funny.
Bill Paxton's the fucking man.
Yeah.
But like, Predators I thought was a pretty sick movie. It wasn't great, but it was a lot of fun.
It's got some good Predator stuff in
Yeah,
it.
like
Oh, absolutely.
All the Predators in Predators are really cool.
exactly.
But that's the weirdest thing, is that it was like, I didn't like how they weakened the Predators, it seemed. Because in Predator, it was...
It does because the 80s was a simpler time.
That's the thing, it was them fighting against one monster.
But this unkillable monster that would not
Yeah.
die and was just had every single advantage over them humanly possible.
Exactly.
Except for being outnumbered.
And even then, because and now in the Predators film, the newest one that came out.
It was cool in Predators when you saw Predators fighting, though.
That was cool, yeah. That looked really good because it was all
As
practical.
in, like, Predators fighting Predators?
Yeah.
That was a thing?
Yeah, because, like, they come across the wolf predators. Like, you find out there's clans of predators. And
so I've seen it once.
There's, like, the lower predators, and then they get into a fight with the wolf predators, which are above them. Yeah. And it's, like, super gory and awesome, and just, like, they're, like, stabbing each other and throwing each other through, like, shit, and then, like...
See, I've seen it once, and that was in the cinemas, and I've never seen it again.
I actually like Predators. Like, I think it was actually a pretty good movie. Excluding Topher Grace. His character was really odd.
Who's Topher Grace?
He plays, like, the botanologist that goes with him.
Oh!
Plays Venom and Spider-Man for his
Yeah.
Oh!
He's in that 70s show.
Yeah, he's in that 70s show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His character really sucks. But Lawrence Fishburne in Predators is pretty rad. It's turned into a Predator discussion, but yeah. Yes, new Alien game should be pretty cool. And the last thing I know, Danny, you guys, we're all pretty excited to talk about is the new God of War game. Announced it's got a massive as fuck collector's edition coming out.
Oh, it's not that big.
Well, not that big, yeah.
It's got quite a bit of stuff with it.
Yeah, stuff diddly off in it.
But it's not like Titanfall levels of stupid.
Oh, no. I mean, it's only going to be what, like...
We'll only be slightly breaking the bank to get
250
So we'll describe...
Australian.
Also, it's established so you won't feel like an idiot when you buy it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. We'll actually... We'll find out what's... Are you looking for it
Yeah.
now? Alright, so we're going to look... I forgot what's in it. But yeah, they've announced the God of War Special Edition that comes with a statue and some stuff. Yeah. But the cool thing about this is, and you mentioned this before off podcast, Eric, is that means this is coming out soon.
Has to come out in the first half of this year.
No, maybe not first half, but it will come out this year.
I can't imagine it coming out any time past June.
I feel like it possibly will.
Yeah, I feel like it as well.
I feel like it's going to be a September game.
Like...
I feel like it's going to be September.
Yeah, I won't be surprised actually. September does seem like
September and October September, October, November that and then June are the biggest months to release games.
But I reckon they'll try to get before October, November. So
Yeah.
September makes sense.
I don't want to wait that long.
I don't want to wait for
Alright, anyway. So it comes with a steelbook case, a 9-inch Kratos and Atreus statue.
My boy Atreus. 2
carvings? Oh, so like carvings of these people, I guess. An exclusive lithograph, a cloth map, a stonemason ring.
That's pretty cool.
And I think this might... Mimers? Oh,
Mimir.
Is that the...
Mimos.
Is that the snake?
No, because that's...
Mimir head talking. Mimir's head talking keychain.
Yggdrasil is the snake.
Ah. Well, anyway.
Did you say Idris Elba's the snake? Yeah. I just wanted you to did.
That's what I thought he said.
Yggdrasil.
Idrisil.
Yggdrasil.
Oh, is that actually okay?
Or Yggdrasil.
Anyway, Mimir.
Idris Elba.
I don't know that much pronunciation about Norse mythology, unfortunately. So Mimir's head talking.
And this isn't Danny mispronouncing Mjolnir. It does.
No, I'm not saying no. Like in the.
Is that Thor's hammer?
Yes.
Yeah.
2-inch horse and troll carvings, and then digital content includes Defenders of the Chosen
I'll have to say one of the Tomb Raider
Chosen
games.
Shield, and that's it.
All
so
right.
it actually only comes with one bit of digital content. Oh, and it did say it came with an art book as well.
Could come with more digital content. They just haven't announced
Yeah, because those will be the retail pre-order bonuses.
Yeah.
Good old I hate pre-order bonuses so much.
So do I, but I am a sucker for them because I just want it.
Like, I don't know. I don't mind big special editions. I love big special editions because if it's a game I love, I'm gonna get it if I can afford it. But like, pre-order bonus is just like, just let me. Like, I'm gonna pre-order anyway. Why don't you just give me that? Like, why do I have to go? Why do I have to go through a middleman to get this? That's the real question. But yeah, it's like the big thing about this is like that means God of War is pretty much guaranteed to come out this year. Like, it is going to happen. It still hasn't got a solid release date, sadly.
Oh, here we go. Sorry.
Oh,
digital content. Digital
Yeah,
content.
Sure.
Oh,
sorry.
Digital content includes several in-game shields, an armor set, a dino. Probably can't.
a dino.
A dynamic
dinosaur.
PS4 theme,
That's cool.
and a digital comic and art book by Dark Horse Comics.
Oh, so Dark Horse are doing the God of War comics.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The full special edition
That's
costs
cool.
$150
What?
Shit,
US
my head or something.
dollars.
Yeah, that's So it'll be about 200 to 250 in Australia.
Approximately,
I hope
yes.
it's just 200.
Yeah. I've noticed big special editions have gone up in pricing over the last couple of years.
Yeah, like the freaking the Monster Hunter Collector's Edition, not the one with the PS4, but just the Collector's Edition was about nearly...
The one of the PS4 isn't a collector's edition, it's a PS4.
But
It's not an edition you buy, it's you buy the PS4.
with the game.
Yeah, the game comes with it, so like that.
With pre-order.
My Metal Gear Solid 5 one, right?
Yeah.
That's not the Metal Gear Solid 5 limited edition. It is a limited edition PS4.
But you're still collecting it.
Yeah, but it's not a collector's edition game. It's the console. So you don't say, "Oh, it's the Monster Hunter console." It's the it's not. Oh, you don't say it's the Monster Hunter Collector's Edition. It is the Monster Hunter PS4
Okay.
because it's not a collector's edition. It is a the collector's edition is the steelbook. They wouldn't call it the same thing.
Yeah. Alright, whatever.
Yeah, but anyway, so I'm pretty sure this game will probably come out in September. I'm guessing September, possibly June. I know you really want June, Danny.
I want May.
Nah, not May. It's too
Like-
soon. If it was May, we would know.
If it was... See, the thing is that, okay, so March is out of the window. I don't mind that. April, May is... that's
No.
when they've always come out.
If it was going to be April or May, we would know. They wouldn't keep it that. They wouldn't keep it.
I can imagine them
They
being
wouldn't
sneaky.
keep it. They wouldn't keep it that far back.
Why?
Sony wouldn't let them. Because usually it's 6 months before is when you get your release date, unless a year or something. But they wouldn't be like, oh, in a month the game's coming. Here's the solid release. Unless it was like an E3 thing, where at E3 they're like, oh yeah, okay, game comes out in a month. But that's because that's like an unveiling.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do it before then. I feel like it's a September release. Earliest I think is September.
I feel like they're just trying to hype it up.
No,
a lot.
Again, that's a bit dumb. I don't think they would hold back their game to hype it up.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to hype it up as much as possible, so
Yeah.
that's why then they would be like, oh, this is a massive entire set
I honestly still-
for God of War at E3, and then the next month they'll be like,
I honestly think
next
that
month.
they're still working on it. Because we would also know if it gone gold. Gone gold means the game's done. Yeah, and usually if you know when any game goes gold. You always know. They always do an announcement saying, yeah, this game's gone gold, which means they're going into the shipping phase. Where they're sending it out and they've got the copies and all that shit. But I feel like there's still a lot of work to be done. So I think September. When do you think, Eric?
Yeah, I'd say September as well, be my guess.
Yeah, I don't think any time before that.
Yeah.
Possibly June or July or August, but I'm strong on. I'm pretty definite it will be September, or at latest October, but no time before then. It's okay to don't get grumpy, Danny. You'll get to play God of War eventually.
I just want to play the game now.
Shh.
It's I've been waiting so long. It's been nearly
It's good because that means they obviously announced it early, which means they've been working on it this entire time.
I don't know.
It's going to be.
And I nearly missed its first unveiling at E3 because I was in the toilet.
I really hope it's good. It would suck if this God of War game was actually meh. Because the hype is too real. We're like, oh man, this new God of War game.
Yeah, because Ascension was pretty
It'd be
trash.
the worst if we were like, it's alright. Could have been better.
Yeah, Ascension was not the greatest coming back. Because that was the first game on the new console.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
No, it wasn't. Because God of War 3 came out on PS3.
Did it?
Yeah, it did.
Oh,
Came out in 2010.
Yeah.
okay. I'm messing up my
It's alright, Danny.
my consoles.
We forgive you. Our fans don't, but we forgive you. But yes, so there's that. Anything into the God of War Collector's Edition being announced?
Give us a release date already, Sony Santa Monica.
No. I feel like God of War is just they'll tell us the day before it comes out. Oh yeah, it's out. Lol.
To be honest, I would not be mad about that.
Yeah. So yes, we'll move on to our main topic now. Is Shape of Water, the new Guillermo del Toro movie. So for those who don't, so again, spoiler free, and then we'll tell you when spoilers are coming up. Even if
There's not much that spoilers, to be honest.
yeah, but say if we want to mention certain scenes,
Yeah.
we don't want to give away too much. So yes, it's all about our general thoughts and things we really liked or hated. And then yeah, so this is Guillermo del Toro's. Is this his 9th? Oh, I heard this might be his 9th.
I don't know.
I'll IMDb it quickly. While I IMDb, someone describe.
Oh fuck! What is What is Shape of
Someone
Water?
describe Shape of Water while IMDb.
It is a... I described it as a fairy tale just because the way they, I guess, made the story is that it was very much like that kind of... It was very serious. And, was it? Was it serious?
Yeah, it's pretty serious.
Yeah, no. Alright, well, it was pretty serious. But there was a lot of lightheartedness to it and just very enjoyable... just the entire film. I don't know how to describe the story.
In the early 60s, a woman who can't speak or who's mute works at a government laboratory as a cleaner. And we don't know too much about the laboratory, that we're led to believe they experiment on stuff, and one day they bring in a strange humanoid-looking amphibian creature, and they torture it, and everyone tells them to stay away from it. And they want to keep it because it's the 60s, and of course, if it gets away, there's always fears of the Soviets getting it, and, Cold War fears. But then, being the one of the cleaners, she eventually stumbles on the creature and interacts with it, and they form a bond, and you just see where that goes.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. Yeah. Also, yes, this is his 10th movie. This is Guillermo del Toro's...
So he's beaten Tarantino.
Well, suck a Tarantino.
Yeah.
Love your movies, mate.
Wait, no, he's... Oh, yeah. No,
yes, because Tarantino's up to his 8th.
Yeah.
But he's working on his 9th and possibly 10th as well. Yeah. If Star Trek and these Michael Manson...
Charles Manson
film go through.
Did you want to say Michael Myers?
Yeah. I feel like a Halloween movie would be pretty good if Tarantino directed it.
I thought another Halloween movie would be good, but like a good one.
Yeah. But yeah, so like Shape of Water, like what did you guys think?
Did we ever find out what the shape of the water was?
No, we didn't. And false advertising.
I think we do like at the end actually.
Yeah, it's kind of just like a...
We do know what it is, shape of water actually, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like everywhere.
We're not going to spoil what shape it is.
Yes.
But it does have more than one side. I'm just going to say that. It's not a circle.
Exactly.
You mean a sphere. Because a sphere has only technically one side.
Well, that's true, it does.
It's also... Oh no, the circle and the sphere.
Okay, it's not a circle or a sphere.
It is a shape.
Spoiler alert, it's a rectangular prism. I'm just getting it out there. 6 sides, but not all equal.
Jesus. Yeah, so what did you guys think about Shape of Water?
It was pretty good.
Danny, did you like Shape of Water?
I did. I think I'm still processing it because it's just... I don't know, it's... a weird film. I think I have to go see it.
It is actually.
It is very Guillermo del Toro. Like it clearly isn't.
Yeah,
it's American. No, like it's not done by an American.
And
director.
like, it's weird because it's very lighthearted at points, but it's not at the same time. Like it's very like
it's a film you can totally imagine being in another language.
Yeah.
Yeah, like especially. I mean.
You can imagine it being a Spanish language film.
Or like a French film.
Or a French film, yeah.
Because I was gonna say, I don't know, maybe it was just the music, but the way they filmed it...
It feels like a film from the 60s, but not in the way that it's meant to look like one, even though it does. It feels like a 60s-inspired film.
But you can actually hear everything that's said in the movie.
Exactly, yeah.
And like picture quality's good.
Well, it's good. Like, I wasn't surprised. No, it's not... It's weird 'cause it's not graphic. But it's very adult, if that's the term I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a tiny bit graphic in a couple
scenes. Oh, yeah. It is actually.
Yeah, but that was only like... that was actually surprisingly just minor things.
Despite... Because it is a love story. This is a love story. It's a very... Like, despite being a fantastical and whimsical story, it's also dark and very adult and very, like... It's got a lot of social commentary in there as well. And it's, like... It's easily, out of all Guillermo del Toro's films, it's his most R-rated film. If that makes sense. But it's
Didn't he do one of the Blade films?
Yeah, Blade 2.
Is that R-rated?
Yeah, but that's... Oh, I assume so in America because it's pretty violent. But, like, it's not... It's very, like... It's very light-hearted violence. It's very just, like, look at all this blood. And, like, it's not, like, done in the very, like, dark way.
It's not serious.
As but this is, like... The story is very, like... Oh, yeah, it's very whimsical, and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's very dark and very adult. Like there's a lot of swearing in this movie, a lot of nudity.
There's a bit of swearing. Yeah.
Not a lot, yeah. But there's a surprising bit of nudity in it, which is never a bad thing.
Adult themes.
It's even got an awkward sex scene in there, and a couple of good ones as well. But
it's only got like one, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I was trying to other things which we won't spoil because that's like
not even a spoiler.
the most hyped thing that we all went into this movie hoping we'd get. and we got a bit of it. But we'll get to that in spoilers. Dave's just like, what?
I'm so confused.
I said we're talking about spoilers, but that's the thing that blew me away. This movie is how it rode both tones perfectly, if that makes sense. Where it's just like it was lighthearted as hell, and it was really whimsical and fantastical, but it was also incredibly dark and very like.
Such as the scene that dude fucks his wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, it is a good example of it.
Yeah,
though.
it is actually. Yeah,
It was like kind of done for comedic effect, and it was like, oh, it's kind of comedic, but it's also kind of like.
it's also very character revealing. At
And
the
just
same time.
it's character revealing. Yeah, it's
And you're like
almost a bit dark.
But yeah, like what did you guys like before going like how versed I think I don't know how but I'm not sure about Danny. How well versed are we in the ways of Guillermo del Toro?
I played PT.
Like
That's a good point.
nothing.
Really?
I don't think I've seen any of his films.
You've seen Pacific Rim?
Oh, I forgot he did that.
But that's like
Even though he told me that time.
very standard.
I wouldn't say Pacific Rim is standard.
I don't think it's as out there as Shape of Water.
Oh no, definitely not out there. Shape of Water.
Like I can
But
expect
it's the
a
best.
film.
It's the best live action anime ever made, which is amazing because it's not based on an anime. It is like the most like live action.
I'm just gonna look at his filmography. Just
He's
to
done.
Kind of
Have you seen the
actually-
Hellboy movies?
No.
Have you seen
Love Hellboy.
Pan's Labyrinth?
Like the most famous scene, but that's about it.
Okay, have you seen I assume you haven't seen like Devil's Backbone and Mimic and all that.
Never
didn't know he
even,
did Devil's
never
Backbone.
even heard of them.
There is early films. They're all in Spanish. Sorry. What else has he done?
Haven't seen Troll Hunters.
You've played PT, which he had a heavy involvement in.
Yeah, but that's like
Yeah, have you seen Blade 2?
I don't know. Probably maybe, but maybe like once.
Okay, so you haven't seen that much, and you've seen a few of his films.
Hellboy,
Oh, he did
Hellboy
Puss in
2.
Boots.
No, he
Pacific
didn't.
Rim.
He didn't direct it.
Oh.
What is it? Will?
Hellboy, Hellboy 2,
Pacific
Pacific
Rim.
Rim. I think Blade 2 back in the day, I've got no memory of it.
Yeah.
And
Blade 2's pretty good.
a bit of Pan's Labyrinth, and I'll go back and watch all of it.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen like the Hellboy movies, Pacific Rim. I've seen Pan's Labyrinth, which is a really good movie, and I think I was gonna see. I can't remember what it's called. It's called Crimson something, which is a movie he did
Crimson
before.
Peak.
I was gonna say Crimson Peak, but I missed it. I think there's another Del Toro movie I've seen that I cannot remember for the life of me. I've seen a bit of Devil's Backbone, which is pretty good. And Blade 2, yeah. But like, this film is
Strain, Chronos, Mimic, Book of Life,
Strange a TV show.
Pacific Rim, Uprising,
He's not
Don't
directing
Be
that.
Afraid of the Dark.
These aren't all things he's directed.
These are just a part of this is just his film stuff that he's worked on.
Yeah, but like,
Did anyone here see the Goosebumps movie with Jack Black?
no, was it? Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
You
I
guys
was
know,
wondering because I heard Are You Afraid of the Dark?
yeah.
And that made me think of like 90s stuff.
Did
and
you,
I
guys,
thought of
did you guys know
Goosebumps.
that Guillermo del Toro directed an episode of The Simpsons?
No.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Or didn't he just direct the opening? I think he just directed the
How do
opening.
you direct just the opening?
Well, they probably would have been. I just want to see. I can't believe. Does that like? Also, he's doing the Pinocchio movie in the near future.
What is it called? Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It says on his IMDb film. Anyway, it's like this film, like you said before when we came out of it, Eric. This film screams Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
Like this is his style all over the place. Just how like how well it's like shot. How like all the props are incredibly like amazing. How like it's very colorful.
Yeah,
Like
all the
it's-
colours are really nice.
Yeah.
Pleasing and not quite reality, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because they're close and it makes you feel happy.
Yeah, and like the music and stuff, and just, I love the like there's times where it does pay really heavy homages to like old school cinema. I really like those. I was like that's cool. Like
Such as the scene when they're in the old school cinema.
exactly. And the fact that the main character lives above a cinema.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about like the characters?
I liked the characters.
and
They're all
and-
really
Yeah.
cool and unique and fascinating.
One of them's a fish man.
Yes, the Fish Man. It's surprising you don't ever get a name for him in this movie.
Do you just call it amphibian man?
Yeah.
Or like not like I think he might be listed as that in the credits.
Yeah, but like that's pretty cool. Like he's like, actually we'll spend some time talking about him. He was such a cool character.
I did like his character.
Like the props alone, like how real he looked because like that was all prosthetics for the most part. That was all prosthetics.
Yeah.
Like which is something Guillermo del Toro is very heavy on. Like he's very prosthetics are the way to go, and it's amazing that a movie. This is not an indie film, but this is a pretty, like, it's a small scale.
It's not a huge budget at all.
Yeah.
It's definitely on the lower side.
It's amazing that this film got this really not alien looking, but very unhuman looking character looking so real with the small budget. Yet movies like from DC and a lot of Marvel movies who do the big CGI villains look like the fakest thing ever. Yet they have like budgets of 250
I mean,
million.
yeah, it just shows if you know what you're doing, you can make
Yeah.
it good.
And just also, and he was just a really, you really felt like something from another world. And it was really cool, and the relationship between him and Sally Hawkins' character was really like
Eliza.
Eliza. Yeah, it was really heartfelt and warming, and like it felt like they were like it never felt cheesy. I don't know about you guys, it never felt out of place. It was just like
Surprising. I was kind of expecting that it very well could, and I feel like, you
Yeah.
hear the concept of the film, you have
you're like
your ideas about it, and you're like, oh, that's going to be
yeah.
a bit strange.
Which is I think that's also the thing. Like I said, it rides the two tones really well. Is like if they didn't have those dark moments and how adult the film is, I feel like it would have been so cheesy. It would have been a very like by the numbers, like fantasy romance story. But the fact that it has those really dark moments and it has those really like it's very adult, and just like the dialogue as well is very quippy. If the dialogue felt almost Tarantino-esque at times, where it's just like it felt very conversational, but everyone was very like not everyone had an attitude, but everyone was very quippy and very like and it never felt just like here's dialogue to get the point across. It was just like this is what the character would say. Like here's their talk.
Or not, say, in the case of Eliza.
Yeah, and Eliza. Yeah, that's
What she'd sign.
yeah. Sorry, I dropped my phone. And it has vanished. I'll get it back later. That was the cool thing. Is Sally Hawkins plays a mute in this story, and she does it really well. Like, she has to get you have to get a lot off in your like
Facial expressions.
You have to. Yeah, it's hard because you can't rely on dialogue.
And you can't even like. Yeah.
So you have to purely rely on your body weight and like your body actions and your face to get. And she gets across emotion.
She's got a couple really, really good scenes.
Yeah, like there's like we won't give the context to it, but there's like a amazing it's like an argument she has with someone and it starts in a house and goes into a hallway.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I was talking about.
Yeah, that scene is brilliant. Like I was like, that is amazing, and she gives like 100% to this film, which is amazing. Oh, every actor does great. Like, especially Michael Shannon in the role of the villain of this story. He was amazing. Like, did you guys like his villain?
Yes.
What'd you like about his villain?
He was very intimidating, like at all times. Like it's very much, it's like that boss that you have at work.
Yeah.
Where like you have to do your best, and it's kind of like you can't impress them.
Yeah.
Because they're just constantly stone faced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you like about America?
He was very cut, like he was very kind of cut and dry, like he was very by the numbers, but he definitely did do a good job of portraying that.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that.
I loved his villain. I thought his villain was great because he had personality as well. Like, he was very, like... He felt like just, like, he was a complete dick, but he was very driven. He was like, oh, yeah, like this is my job. I do it really well and all that stuff. But, like... And there was, the times where he's being fake nice to people was, like, the best, like... And stuff, but, like, I loved, like, all the stuff, like... He had so many scene-stealing scenes. Like, there's bits, again, we won't spoil, but there's bits towards the end of the film where I'm like... He had just great moments where I'm like, that is awesome. And just pure lines of dialogue that he says and stuff. Like, he is a great villain. I feel he was like a really memorable villain that I could 100% get behind watching all the time. He had just some of the best lines in that movie as well. Where it's just like, okay, I won't spoil it. It had some great lines and stuff. Octavia Spencer's character was really cool as well. She was the other maid. Other cleaner.
The
black one.
Zelda?
Yeah, Zelda.
Zelda, yeah.
Yes, that's her name. I forgot her name. Did you guys like her?
I did, yeah.
Octavia Spencer, she's a good actress.
Yeah, she's a great actress. I'm a massive fan of hers. She was kind of comic relief for the first half of the movie, but then she had like some really good scenes where it's like.
And even then, I wouldn't say she's played too much to laugh, so she does it naturally.
Yeah, like because like we've seen Octavia Spencer in full comedy roles before, where she's just been like.
What has she also been in?
What is she? I can't remember. She's very known for being that loud. Like
she was in The Help.
Yes.
Because I thought about what is it? Michael Shannon's character says.
She says, "I am interviewing the fucking Help."
Yeah, talks to The Help, and I'm like, oh, she's in that.
Like that's cool because like she usually plays very loud and like not aggressive, very like characters.
Yeah,
she kind of is.
They're very the sassy woman. Yeah.
As she plays that, but it's not a character choice. She actually downplays herself quite a bit, and she's very like she has great like she's always talking about how her feet hurt, and like she's always talking about her useless husband Bruce, and like
his name's Bruce,
and just like and all that stuff, and like she's also like the relationship between her and Sally Hawkins' character is really real. Like she was really cool. Like amazing performance. Not Doug Jones because he plays the fish monster.
He does a good job though.
Yeah, he does an amazing job. Like, again, like
who's the actor?
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones. I've never heard of him.
Really? He's a pretty big actor. Like he's done a lot of stuff.
Okay, I typed in Doug Jones and it came up with American Senator. So
Doug Jones actor.
I was like, that doesn't look like him. Oh, yeah, never heard of him.
Really? That is surprising.
Oh, he's in Star Trek Discovery.
He's in the Slender Man movie, not the new one, the old one.
There's an old Slender Man film?
Have you ever seen Marble Hornets?
No.
It's a YouTube series about Slender Man, and they made a movie about
Oh,
it.
yeah. I haven't seen it, but I do know of it, yeah.
And they made a movie about it. I think it was just video on demand.
That's
and he
really
was Slender
cool,
Man
though.
in that.
Yeah.
We were going to go see the new movie.
Oh, he's a contortionist.
Looks really bad though.
I know, and the director's done some terrible films.
Oh, okay, so...
He's a bit strange looking, isn't he? He's very skinny.
Yeah.
He's starred in a lot of... Yeah, he's one of Guillermo del Toro's favourites.
Yeah.
He's in Shape of Water, Crimson Peak, Pan's Labyrinth, Golden Army, Mimic, and Hellboy as... Yeah.
As Fishman and Hellboy.
Yeah, as Fishman, as Ape Sapien.
Ape Sapien. You see that again? That's also the whole thing. Like the whole thing. Like this could very well take place in the Hellboy universe. Like this could even be like a pseudo backstory for like Abe Sapien. It's not like
I'd be keen for that.
Or his race.
yeah, well like
So species.
because he does like the similarities between him and Abe Sapien. Like they look different, but they look like they're from the same race.
Yeah,
so it's just
could be
like
the same species.
like
yeah.
I feel like Del Toro made a like he wrote this like not this character specifically, but he wrote like he came up with this like possible backstory for Abe Sapien. Realized he couldn't put it in Hellboy because it would bog the movie down. But he was like, hey, I can make a movie on that by itself, and then he did, and that's what Shape of Water.
Well, what is it? It's in the 60s, and the lab. You know, do we ever see where it is?
No.
It's
So I think
it's in Baltimore. 'Cause
it gets
the movie
mentioned
takes
as what
place,
it's
yeah.
like. It's near the ocean,
Yeah.
but it's out of the way of anything. Doesn't
Yeah.
Hellboy live in an army base in the 60s? He could be there. You know?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, interesting note just for Hellboy. Abe Sapien's played by Doug Jones, but it's not voiced by him. It's voiced by a different person.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah, David Hyde Pierce.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, David Hyde Pierce. Yeah,
Yeah.
who voices him.
Yeah. It's really cool. I'm convinced this does take place in the same universe. Which is, it sucks because that's no longer the Hellboy
Oh my
universe
god,
now.
he's the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know that.
And I didn't realise that Lawrence Fishburne was the voice of the Silver
Yeah,
Surfer.
Silver Surfer.
I didn't know that.
That's actually really funny.
Actually, I just realized, and this could... Actually, no, it wouldn't make sense because if Guillermo del Toro had something to do with the new Hellboy movie, I feel like it would be the new Hellboy movie because they would have let him make his Hellboy 3. But because that's not happening, we're getting a Hellboy remake, which still baffles me. Like,
I'm still looking forward to it.
Like, I'm looking forward, but I'm just like, if you're gonna remake, just let him do a third Hellboy movie. Then, if you don't have faith in him, but you want to make a third Hellboy movie, then just let him make the third one. Like, fans will go and see it. It will be good.
It's not gritty enough, and you know his style's too weird for them.
Yeah.
They want to get a nice American director in.
But like I was gonna say that this could be even take place in the new Hellboy universe because I assume the new Hellboy movie is going to, like every other franchise, is going to be set up to be like a cinematic universe, which I feel like for Hellboy could work.
Oh, the Dark Horse universe would be amazing.
Oh yeah, I am surprised we don't get a lot of Dark Horse comic movies, like because I've seen a lot of like IPs they have and how well they would lend to being movies. Like I would love, I know it's not Dark Horse, but I would love a Darkness movie, like the games. Yeah, I would love a Darkness movie. I think it'd be really good. Like make it like a weird dark mobster movie, like a dark fantasy mobster movie. That would be so sick. We follow like, his first name's Jackie. I forgot what his second name is.
Jackie Estacado.
Yeah, Jackie Estacado. Follow just him, and then he gets the darkness, and then like he's like it's actually fucking Goodfellas, but add demons and angels. Into
I don't know
it.
why I can remember his last name. I've never owned any of the games.
I've got Darkness too.
I just remember.
Do you like the Darkness games? Did you play?
I played it. Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, I really like the second one. it's not like I haven't played the first one, but I played Darkness 2. Like I really enjoy. I wouldn't call it a great game, but I would say like it's one of the games where, like it was pure fun, like from start to finish, where it's just like and just the gameplay mechanics of like using guns but also having your dark powers and using both at the same time, and how fun the gameplay and stuff, and like how brutally amazing it was dismembering your enemies. It's one of those games where it was pure adrenaline with moments of really good storytelling.
Also, interesting thing to note. Sorry, I'm just looking at Doug Jones's filmography.
Yeah.
He's been in a few films that I've never seen but I've heard of. But he was in a Sydney Film School short.
Oh wow.
Yeah. From what I've seen, Doug Jones seems surprisingly easy to get.
Yeah.
Like it's not that hard to get him because
He
I've
was-
seen a YouTube series and he just appeared out of nowhere.
That's pretty cool. He was the voice of the Silver Surfer in the video game.
Yeah. Couldn't afford Lawrence.
And he
Fishburne.
was the voice of Abe Sapien in Hellboy. So
The Science of Evil?
yeah,
Oh.
so the funniest thing is that they didn't get like the real actors, but they got like
It's because the actors that play the
the
voices
physical
probably,
actor.
probably because the actors that play the characters in voice they couldn't afford to get, because Lawrence Fishburne, he's not massive now, but I assume back at the time he was pretty big, and the guy who voices Abe Sapien's a pretty big comedian, and
David I. Pierce.
yeah, and he's also very popular, like in terms of like even not so much now, but back then that was when it was
Oh,
peak.
that's who he is. He's Lieutenant Saru.
From yeah
Yeah, who's also a semi-amphibian man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Doug Jones is Brad.
He's
man.
also in The Flash and Arrow and Teen Wolf and Falling Skies
he's in a lot of shit.
and Criminal Minds and CSI and
I think every actor has been in CSI.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Wasn't Justin Bieber in CSI?
What was it?
He was in an episode called Hush.
Lee Gentleman. Oh, he was an extra.
Ah.
But yes,
The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
Yeah, there's.
He was in Silk Stockings.
Oh
what
wow,
that is.
that's an odd '90s show. But yeah.
He was arty.
Speaking of great characters from Shape of Water, the
Doug Jones?
Doug Jones. No, the man that lived next to Sally Hawkins' character. That,
Oh,
like,
the artist?
Yeah, the
Yes.
artist. He was a great
The
character.
graphic artist. He was
Also,
really cool.
The guy that plays him sounds so much like Bryan Cranston. Like,
Yeah,
I was just like,
definitely,
you
yeah.
sound identical to Bryan. You even look a little bit like him. Not that much like him, but a little bit like him.
Is it Bryan Cranston? No, it's
No.
not.
But he played a great character. I just loved, like, he was, again, funny, but also, like, believable. Everyone was believable in this movie. Like, they all felt like people, like, instead of
Yeah.
just which is, again, odd, because, again, that ties in the whole, like, this movie is, like, so fantastical, but it's also very grounded at the same time.
See, I went in not knowing a thing about this film.
I went in just because, like, hey, Guillermo del Toro made a new movie. He's one of my favorite directors. So, like, I gotta go see it.
I didn't even know who directed it. I was just like, oh yeah, you're gonna go see it, so and we're gonna talk about it on the podcast, so I guess I better go see it.
Yeah, and then you came out like, that was pretty good.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it.
And there are some awesome scenes, like, which we'll talk about in the spoilers, because there's a specific scene I want
Should
to
we just
mention.
talk about the spoilers now? Because I
No,
feel like
there's still some more stuff we can talk about.
Is there?
I feel like
Yes.
like the soundtrack's pretty neat. I think we're going to mention that. We'll mention our final
The
thoughts.
visuals are pretty.
Yeah, neat.
I did like the aesthetic a lot.
Yeah.
Aesthetic.
We'll mention our final thoughts. I don't think there's anything else. Did you guys like how the movie wrapped up, like without spoiling? Like, did you guys like the ending?
It was very quick.
Yeah, more or less. Could have been a bit more expanded on, but
Yeah.
wasn't
There was
bad.
not a lot of suspense until the very second, like
The movie goes
almost like the very last quarter of the
movie.
film.
The movie's like not. It's like not a roller coaster in that it ebbs and flows, but it's very much like there'll be periods of like peacefulness.
It's like water.
Exactly, yeah. It's like there's periods of
Oh my
peacefulness
God.
where everything's all calm and nice, and then there's periods where something happens and everything gets shaken up, and then the characters adapt to that, and then there'll be another period of like peacefulness, and then something else happens, and then that gets shaken up, and then something else will happen, and then it all like it ebbs and flows like that instead of like, so it's like a roller coaster, not the whole like, oh, it has highs and lows. It's more like it has.
It ebbs and flows like water.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's actually really cool. I didn't notice that until I started talking about it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So final thoughts before we move on to spoilers. Or whatever.
I liked it.
Like, yeah. Where do you fall on it, Eric?
I quite enjoyed it.
Yes.
All right, let's spoilers.
I don't know it,
Oh.
bitch. No,
Talk about spoilers now.
yeah, well, ugh, rip. No, I loved it. It's not my favorite Del Toro, but I think it's probably up there with. Out of all the things I've seen of him, it's up there with my 3 favorite. So it'd be like just below Pacific Rim,
But you love
and
Pacific
Hellboy.
Rim.
Yeah, well,
Pacific Rim's like your favourite.
Not my favorite movie, but even in a top 10 list, it would be in there because Pacific Rim is
Of that
vast.
like film, yeah.
It is like it's unremarkable in ways, but at the same time, it's so like perfect at what it does that it's like kind of unbeatable in my mind. Where like in terms of just big action spectacle, it is like so just perfect at being there. But anyway, yeah, spoilers for The Shape of Water. Like the scene that came to mind where I was like, I just loved it is like when Michael Shannon's character.
She fucks the fish.
Yes. Actually, yeah, that's the biggest thing. We get this movie. It disappoints in a way, but at the same time, it's hinted at. We get to see Fishman v hot woman sex, and it's good. But no one gets to see much of it. It's just like it's implied.
Well,
it's actually like really, really tasteful. Like it was really like the scene because there's a scene with them.
Yeah.
Where it seems really, really unrealistic where she floods her bathroom completely, so it's actually like a tank.
Yeah. And then
it's actually like, really cool. Like
it was actually, I thought it was really nice just when he opens the door and she's just hugging him, but she seems so happy.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, whatever, I can't be mad.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. Like, I was like,
to be fair, do we really need to see fish fucking? Not really.
No, really. It's cool just to have the nice romantic implication.
I think, the implication is a lot
Well,
better.
it's like, who is the animal and who is the human kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Well, the fishman's obviously the animal, isn't he? He lives in a tank. Look at him, Daddy. He's an animal.
But
he gets angry at a cat.
He has
and he eats it. He's obviously an animal.
I forgot about that.
But he has feelings.
Yeah, so do elephants. They're still animals. They get sad when other elephants die.
No. I was going to say, like, because you, like, the whole, like, if you look at it, what even the word is symbolically.
Yeah.
You can be like, oh no, don't worry. You watch, I don't even know what the actors' names are. The main villain.
Michael Shannon's character.
Yeah, you see Michael Shannon, and you see how like disgustingly brutal it is, and then you see like the love making between
Eliza
Man
and Fishman. Yeah.
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 Well, you really don't even see it. You just see like you know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And you just see them embracing.
Yeah.
A couple times.
Yeah, which is all
which
good.
is weird.
You see, I didn't expect to see Sally Hawkins naked so many times in this movie.
Yeah.
Like she has a.
I wasn't upset.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I was like, there's like this movie has masturbation in the first 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, this isn't. I was like, so I knew the film was rated MA, which is essentially R for America, but like. I didn't expect. I was like, oh, so Del Toro went here with this. All right, cool. This is the type of film I'm getting into. Like, I wasn't expecting that, but okay. And I was like that was cool. Just like how adult it is. Like, it has all that shit in it.
Very human as well.
Yeah, and it also made everyone believable because like you see she does it every morning essentially. And I was like.
On a timer, which is
Yeah. She's like, oh, I'll go boil these eggs and
While
go
I
have
have a bath.
Oh, that's why, because she's boiling the eggs. I thought she was just putting a timer on herself.
No, she's boiling the eggs. And, like,
I want to get to work. She's got to get to work. Like, she's only got so long to pleasure herself in the morning. That's what I seriously thought.
Well, I mean, to be honest, that makes sense, but like...
It probably is both that and the egg thing at the same time.
Although it was like an egg timer, so
Yeah.
you're probably right about that.
But also, yeah, like, I completely forgot about the cat thing. So, like a cat, like the fishman gets out a little bit. And then like this cat like snarls at him, and because he is a bit of an animal, like.
And he's hungry as well. He sniffs the air and he's like, "Ooh, food."
I think they say he eats meat.
High protein.
High protein.
Yeah, so like
to be fair, cats were not the best.
you hear this cat just like meow, and then you.
And you hear this crunching noise, and you're like,
and you just hear like, and you're like, oh no, and then your mind prepares yourself. You're like,
rips the
no.
whole damn head off the thing. It's a whole head. That's not even protein in the head.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, the brain. Has
Yeah.
the brain got protein?
Yeah.
Possibly, I don't know, but like he just lifts up this headless cat, and just like you're like, oh, all right, and then like,
And then the other guy, I forget.
I forgot his name.
Yeah.
Giles or something. It was
Okay,
Giles or something.
yeah.
That's what Wikipedia said.
But like,
Okay.
there's a great.
And he's like, "Oh, just be glad it's not you." To his other
Giles,
6
yeah.
cats.
Yeah, I do that.
Strickland was Michael Shannon's character.
Yeah, Strickland,
And Giles
yeah.
was the neighbour.
Yeah. I did love that thing. Like it's so. Cause I know you were like, you Danny were like,
I felt
because
sick.
you're an animal lover, but specifically you're a cat lover. Like you almost when I sat you down to watch it's a dog. When I sat you down to watch John Wick, you almost got up off my couch and left at the beginning. You were like, no, I'm not watching it. I'm like, no, just sit.
I was at my place.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were at your house.
I was
yeah.
about to be like, "No, I'm gonna go play some games now."
Yeah, and I was like, no, sit down. Like, and then I think what I said to convince you was like you get like it's like the whole movie's like him getting vengeance for this, and you were like, fine, sit down. Watch.
Spoilers for John Wick until he gets another dog at the end.
Yes.
Oh yeah, well he didn't tell me, but yeah.
But yes.
It was a nice little thing at the end.
Good thing.
Rescues a euthanized dog. It's nice.
Yeah.
A dog that's going to be put down. Yeah. I didn't notice that until like my third view. I never noticed the to be
it's like
put down
a pit
stamp.
bull, isn't it? I think.
No, it's not a pit bull. It's a big. I think it's a Staffy cross something. I'm not sure.
I think it might be sort of pit bull.
Oh no, yeah, it might be a pit bull. Yeah, but like I never noticed it, like, on like the form release it says to be put down or like.
Yeah.
I never noticed. I thought he just stole someone's dog, and I'm like, oh, that's fair.
Well, no,
He's John
because
Wick.
he released all of those dogs.
No, he didn't release all of them.
Yes, he did.
He didn't.
No, I saw it a couple days ago. Yeah, he just walks out.
He walks out with one dog.
Oh, right.
But I never noticed him him seeing. I thought he just took a dog, and I'm like, well, he's John Wick. He can kind of do whatever he wants. But
And
like,
that's why, because if it's a pit bull, like, because America has
Yeah.
legislation.
They actually
like,
have rules where you're not allowed to own them anymore.
they maybe to be putting it down because it's a pit bull.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But like that scene, and then like in Shape of Water where they make like that. It was hilarious, but it was dark humor. Pretty much done perfectly. Where like there's that shot where you just see the headless cat in the background, and they're talking, and then like the film keeps drawing your attention to it because the subtitles for when Eliza's like
Doing
using
sign language
appear.
Oh yeah,
over.
we forget to mention that. Yeah, that's how she communicates. She's mute and she communicates by sign language.
Oh, one of the best.
Interesting that a lot of the time they don't actually have subtitles for it. 'Cause some people interpret it, but other times you're just left with nothing.
Yeah, but it's always the character's reaction. Like they always react to it. So you always. It's kind of like in Star Wars when droids talk. You always have an idea of what they're saying. Like.
That's because they give quite a bit of emotion to their beeps and
but also
squeaks and
their
shit like
beeps.
that.
I've never noticed their beeps are actually pretty close to human language. Like they always talk in the tone, and also like whenever like a art teacher says something like "thank you," it always sounds like "thank you." He's like,
bloop, bloop.
yeah, and you're like, oh, like I never noticed that as a kid, but as an adult, I'm like, oh, like there's actually a form of English in there somewhere. But like, I like the best signing moment. Like one of my favorite signing moments in all of cinema is in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Where like they're being interrogated by Michael Shannon's character, and then like they go to, he's like, oh, I'm interviewing the fucking help, and then like he tells them to leave, and then this is after like they've snuck Fishman out and stuff, and then Eliza turns around and like signs something to him, and he's like, oh, what did she say? And then like she does it again, and then like the other chick's like, oh, she said thank you, and then it does the subtitles, and it's like FUCK, and like YOU, and like, and she's just like looking at him like, fuck you, like I've outsmarted you, Mister.
I mean, he did also make a pass on her, like a really crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that was just such a badass moment where she's just like, just messes with him, and it's just like, oh, I was like, my favorite use of sign language in a film ever is that scene. Possibly. I can't think of it.
Just one.
Oh, yeah, from John Wick 2. Don't spoil there, I can't think John Wick 2 yet.
Oh, that's not spoilers.
True. But yes, John Wick 2. But yes, let's turn this podcast into a sudden John Wick 2 podcast. Nah. Yeah, like, there's so many other great scenes. Like, the ending was really, like, intense.
It was very nice.
Like, when they get shot at the end... Like,
oh yeah,
that caught me so by surprise. I was like, oh,
that was really clever. They did that.
And I was like, oh, I'm like, Guillermo, I was like, Toro, don't do this to me. Don't end here like a.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if you did that because I'm like, I know you can do
I
something
would
like
have been
that.
very upset, but I would have been like, that's very cool.
It's very poetic and like in like an old school love story way where it's
even
like,
if the guy did get knocked over, even if they're like, okay, I'm going to, and if Giles was it?
Yeah,
Giles pushes them both into the lake, even if they didn't survive. They just that would have been a nice.
I feel like
symbol.
my mind went straight there. I'm like, oh, Guillermo del Toro's going to take like an old school love story with this thing where like they
like a Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, like
die.
Yeah, and I've been like, man, it's good. And it would have worked because of the character.
Well, I'm starting to think I don't know about that though, because that would have been a bit too Romeo and Juliet if they did both die at the end.
Yeah. But I'm glad they do, like, and like the big plot twist where like they announced at the beginning of the movie like because Eliza has like claw marks presumably on her, and that's why they're like, oh, that's why she's mute, because then they found out she was an orphan.
Vocal cords, yeah.
Yeah, and then like they're big at the reveal at the end where like her and the Fishman are both in the water, and like they turn into gills essentially.
You know what also would have been cool, because it looked like that she wasn't going to wake up.
Yeah.
What also would have been cool if he was like following her floating down, and then she went to go float back up, and he's like, no, come back here, and then she didn't turn into like a fish.
That would have been a cool but very dark ending. It would have been like, oh, but also would have been very emotional, like,
because he has been released and so
Yeah.
he's escaped, but at the same time,
but like he doesn't want her to leave, but she's dead, and he's just like, oh, that would have been pretty heartbreaking, to be honest. You'd have been like, oh, that sucks. But like, That's true. What did you guys think about we forgot about the Russian spy subplot.
yeah.
What did you guys think about the Russian spy subplot?
It was alright.
Didn't really.
I felt like it didn't really add. It was kind of
it
like,
didn't really add anything until even later.
I feel like it was only there just to have a way for them to get out.
Yeah, and
with
also to
Venom.
have that.
It's early 60s and
Yeah.
technology in America.
Like I felt just like yeah. It felt kind of pointless. Like not pointless because the character was cool, but like I was like Dmitri, but like such a generic Russian name.
So like, did you predict? I know Danny, you predicted the gills.
Yeah.
So straight away.
Oh, like almost. Like
Oh, that's what I
it was something to do
I didn't.
with.
I was like, oh, she got clawed by something.
It was something to do with like I think it began when she realized when he touched her neck or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was still in the tank in the lab,
Yeah.
and he touched her neck, and she was like, oh no, and then she walked away, and then I realized I was like, oh, they're like 3 slashes like a fish gills kind of thing. I was like, that's kind of cool that it's like she's mute and she kind of, then that's when she made that little connection when she was like, he and I are the same but also different kind of thing.
That was a great scene.
Nice, yeah.
Even if it didn't turn into proper gills, like I still would have been like,
It can still be symbolic of
that's,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
So I chalked up to wounds. I didn't think that far, but that actually is really cool.
The only thing I predicted was I just predicted Giles being gay.
Yeah,
That's it. That's
that was
everything I
cool.
predicted.
That's another cool
he-
thing.
Was he actually?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
Remember-
he's making a pass on the man. Yeah.
And then the dude freaks out, and then he tells the
60s.
black couple to leave the pie shop.
Yeah.
That's what I think. This film, social commentary can be done wrong so easily. Like it can be like some films just hammer it down your throat really badly.
Cough Avatar. Cough.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I don't care about that.
yeah,
It's fine.
I was like, yeah, Avatar. I do love Avatar.
It does like ram it down a bit, but it's okay.
but there's parts be like, but like,
Save the whales, man.
yeah.
Essentially.
But like this film has, that's why I think the 1960s. I said it before off podcast, but I can actually explain now. The 1960s aesthetic really lends to this story because of the whole like racially. It was a bit of a like a bit of a hectic time,
Pretty bad time.
and the whole fact that like the whole
Oh, it's 62, so it's probably, I don't know if the I Have a Dream speech or like the real civil rights
Yeah.
movements that even happened yet.
yeah, and the fact that there is a scene in this movie where this white pie shop owner or pie shop guy who works at white thing turns away a black couple. And the fact that Michael Shannon's character says some pretty subtle. He's not direct like, oh yeah, like black people suck.
When he
stuff
said
like-
your people.
yeah,
yeah,
says, like,
he
your
has some
people a couple
very
times.
like thing where he's just like, and so you can clearly tell like that wouldn't be in the movie for no reason. They wouldn't have like this racial stuff, because we have to.
Yeah.
I feel like Gilberto knew that, and he was like, that's why like the whole like romance between like this woman
Yeah.
and this fish monster. It's like oh yeah, like
Again, it
they
was
find-
almost like forbidden love.
yeah,
Again.
So that's why the whole aesthetic works, and like the whole thing was it has that social commentary woven within, but it's not the point.
Well, even I had that when Michael Shannon comes into their house because
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you know, this guy's just like essentially he hasn't broken into the house,
just
but he's
walked
come
in.
uninvited. But like they probably can't do anything because they
Exactly.
tell him to get out. They can say like, you know, it's the word of a white government agent versus a
Do you know
black
what's
family.
really
Yeah.
funny was that he knocked on Zelda's door,
Yeah.
but then he slammed into, like he broke straight into
Yeah.
Alyssa.
Yeah, Alyssa, yeah,
Alyssa's
and
re-
shot Alyssa as well. Like he just shot her.
Yeah,
Like no, like oh,
which
you.
I thought was very weird.
I actually thought that was cool because he wasn't there to get her. Like he was like, oh, she helped. Because one thing with he's an evil dude, but he's not crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's well thought and more well planned. And he's methodical. So like he's like, oh, killing Zelda, there's no point to it. So he threatened her.
Yeah.
But they gave him what he wanted. As with Alyssa directly took the fish thing. Alyssa fucked him over. So he's like,
And the fish.
yeah, exactly. And so that's why he went.
Multiple
That's why he went in guns blazing because he was
Yeah.
like, nah, like she knows too much.
Was the police called by
Zelda?
Zelda?
I was, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm assuming that was because she knew what was gonna happen, or
Well, she knew that he was going after them.
yeah.
And stuff.
They could just be like, yeah, they could have just been like, oh, yeah, this guy broke into my house. Wait a minute, this guy's gonna murder a white woman though.
yeah.
Send every unit we've got.
Yeah. But like that's like the whole social commentary, like it's woven in there. It's not the point, but it's like it
Yeah.
really adds to it. Where it's just like oh yeah, like two people from a new race, two people from different races find love and shit, and at a time where no one wants like at a time where like that's uncommon and all that, and like that's also seen why that guy Giles is gay and stuff, and like
that's also probably why he doesn't have a lot of work, is because of that or something. Like
yeah,
yeah, that's a good point. I never really thought about that, but you had to say so that people potentially know about that.
yeah, and yeah, that's and again that's just another layer to the story.
Although I didn't really get like his entire like his work constantly being. I get that obviously with jobs like that.
They mentioned quite a bit that artists have been replaced by photographers.
Oh,
because again, in the 60s,
oh yeah, because he says I can draw really good, but they're not actual people.
Yeah, as well as someone can just photograph the people. And they mention that because again, that's the 60s where photography was becoming more commonplace.
And colour as well.
Yeah, so like all that stuff. Like there was also just lots of little nods in this film, like things like we're realizing now. There's like little things in this film.
It's essentially it's a change of the times movie.
Yeah, and then that's I think that it just adds to it and stuff. And there's also just how well made this film is and how well no actor slouches in this movie. Like no actor is just there.
Oh.
They all give great performances. Especially like that scene where Michael Shannon's interrogating the Russian dude who's been shot in the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And that scene where he just hooks his finger in his mouth and goes through the bullet
like
hole.
A fish hook.
I
Yeah.
never noticed that.
Yeah, it's a fish hook.
That is cool. But
I knew that straight away. I was like, it's like a fish hook
didn't
thing.
Steve-O do that once?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah, Steve-O did that. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I just realised I'm pretty sure I've met fucking people that have done that for videos.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
they've literally just gone.
Yeah, like put a fish hook through the mouth, it's fucked.
Yeah.
It does seem to be like, being a jackass is one thing, but putting a fish hook through your mouth is about the worst you can do.
Yeah.
So it'll leave a little scar as well.
But like that scene where like he's like dragging him and then like he talks about like the candy that he's had all this time where it's like, I like it. Like
I don't get that. Like I just.
it's just a tick person. It's just a personal tick for. It's just to make him more of a character. And
No, I get the candy, but I don't get like why he was explaining it though.
it was to make him menacing.
Oh.
The whole,
Oh no, wait, no, he has an example. Oh no, because he says like
he bites right into it when he's
he
anxious.
can make it last, yeah. He's
Yeah.
like, I can just eat it if I'm feeling anxious, but if I want to, I can make it.
and
I
then
can
he
suck
starts
on it, make it last.
and then he starts jabbing
Yeah.
the gun wound.
so
and all
I can
that.
kill you or I can torture
And
you.
he was okay at the moment because he was
And then,
calm
and then at
cool
the end of the
collected.
scene, he bites right into it when he's like, "There was no strike team. It was they were cleaners." And he
Yeah.
just like gets up and he just like bites it, and he's just like,
Yeah.
And again, that's a really cool character moment as well, and like, there's so many great moments like that in this, sprinkled all the way through this little delightful film.
Yeah, it's just delightful more than anything else.
Yeah.
It's just enjoyable.
Like I was never bored.
Whimsical.
I was never like, I was like.
No, it had a really good pace.
Yeah, and I was never like, this is kind of boring. Oh, I was like, because I'm a sucker for romance stories. Or not just romance, I'm a sucker for romance in stories. Like, I'm not a big fan of stories that are mainly focused around it. I'm more
Because I think me and you talked about this, that ones that are focused around it, like it's not a strong enough concept to hold a film.
Yeah.
So because of that, they just have to make them unrealistic.
yeah.
And that's why they don't really work.
But then this film, because it's so fantastical, but also so dark and so like, just so well realized.
Well, it's also like, it doesn't start out as a romance film. She
Exactly.
doesn't see the fish man think I want to fuck him straight away.
Yeah. And
That
like,
comes later.
Yeah, exactly. They work towards it like
Yeah.
a normal couple.
Yeah,
Unlike
pretty much.
unlike a certain devil.
Exactly. Oh yeah, because the Devil Man, good anime. But like, even the romance isn't the whole point. Where like it's like there's like again like the social commentary and like the changing of the times, like you mentioned, and all that. Like there's so many levels to this movie where it's just like Del Toro just knocked it out of the park from like in so many ways. The fact that he wrote, directed, and produced, like, is amazing. Also, like I said this to you, Eric, Kojima spent too much time hanging around with Del Toro, because
You mean Guillermo del Toro spent too much time around Kojima?
no, I mean Kojima spent too much around Del Toro because the opening is like this long take underwater sequence. Not even a sequence. It's just a long take underwater bit where it's going through her apartment as if it was underwater, and then it cuts to she wakes up on her couch, and then she starts her dated routine.
I actually half expected it to be underwater, and then I was like, no, that's way too far-fetched. And
Yeah.
then afterwards...
I know it's Del Toro. He does
Yeah.
some very far-fetched things. Like,
and then afterwards, because I was like, that's a really cool, like... It would have been, I don't know, just maybe like a scene or two of it,
Yeah.
and then obviously ended it with her actually being underwater.
Yeah.
It began and ended with her underwater.
yeah. Again, no, that's not. See, all these little things you find, you're like, but I like that opening scene is like this long take where like it's going through her apartment. It's like things and like credits are appearing on the screen and like all that shit, and it's finding certain things. I'm like,
It looks like Finding Nemo text.
But I was gonna say, like, that's the thing. Kojima in the most recent Metal Gear games, and from what we've seen of Death Stranding, has used the exact same method of filming, air quotes filming, because it's not really filming because it's a game, but like he's used that whole no cutting, one take. You move the camera around and like you focus on things that are important, and then you move it. And I was like, either Kojima has spent too much time around Del Toro, or Del Toro has borrowed his film style. But again, Del Toro's used this before in other films, like, so it's like, no, this is.
So I'm assuming it's just
It's Kojima.
Del Toro going to Kojima. This is cool, or Kojima being like, I like what you did to blah 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 blah. Del Toro, can I do this in my game? And then Sony's going, yes, here you go. Here's the money.
Well, not that money. He's just like,
yeah, no, it's like here, yes, here you go.
Here's my techniques. Use them, and then he's used them in every single thing. Like every single thing we've seen of Death Stranding, there hasn't been a single like cut if it's in a scene. It's always been like the one camera that moves around.
Yeah, like especially in the latest one when they kept on following backwards and forwards between
Norman Reedus' character,
Norman Reedus and his buddy who gets eaten.
He gets eaten by invisible hand monsters. Death Stranding's weird. No one knows what it is.
No, we still don't know what it
I don't
is.
think it's a game.
I don't think Kojima even knows what it
I
is.
think it's just an experience.
I think it's just that, like when the game.
On rails VR shooter.
No, that's what's
my
gonna be.
God.
No, what's gonna be is it's gonna be like. There's gonna be a disc, and the disc comes with like a little pill. Alright. And so like we put the disc into a PS4, and it's just like, take the pill now. You take it. It's just an ecstasy drug trip.
It's not even a pill. It's just going to be a tab you put in your tongue.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just like,
God.
what is Death Stranding? I'm seeing floating whales and crabs and invisible hand monsters, but they're all talking to me. And he's like, everyone's like, that's like an innovative gaming experience. Everyone's like, it was a drug trip. It was a legitimate drug trip. That's what Death Stranding was.
God, can you imagine if a game did that?
Probably then. That's probably like something in an Orwellian future, like We Happy Few or something like that.
2084.
Yeah. Oh man.
Or like not Animal Farm, Beyond fucking whatever. I can't remember. It was a George Orwell film or book.
He did do Animal Farm.
Go Animal Farm. I've always want to go back and read Animal Farm.
It actually is a really cool book.
Like, cause I've heard like it's like a
Brave
really.
New World. That's the other one.
I've heard of Brave New World.
Brave New World and also 1984, which are both written.
That's an odd. Oh, you go. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's not written by Orwell. It's written by Auden.
Well, like just a random off like thing. What like. I know, Danny, you've read quite a few books, and I've read quite a few. And I'm not sure how many you've ever read books.
I used to read all the time.
Yeah.
Aldous Huxley.
But like, what's like one book? Like no, like any book, but like a bit of, even if it's like classic literature that's already been adapted. Like, what's one book you'd love to see adapted into like a movie? I've got 3 answers for this.
Of Mice and Men. I actually wouldn't.
I'm pretty sure it has been adapted, but I'd like to see a new adaptation.
Yeah, it's been adapted to heaps.
Yeah.
Brave New World's been adapted already.
I love to see like a weird.
It had Leonard Nimoy in it.
I'd love to see a weird adaptation of Mice and Men, like where it's not like an exact thing, where like they've taken the core concept and put it into like another genre or something.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that seems to be the thing with Mice and Men is whenever they adapt, and they've done it so many times, they just do the exact same thing. They don't get experimental.
I actually would like a proper, like maybe a more psychedelic version of Brave New World. Though.
I'd love like a sorry to curve, but I love like a crime version of Mice and Men where it's just like
with
have
the
like
two brothers trying to escape.
Yeah.
but like a Tarantino-esque, like they're like hitmen or like they're robbers or something, but like they're like but have like the whole story of Mice and Men, but put it in like a crime setting where it's just like they're just two criminals who do shit.
Yeah, where obviously the younger brother is the big strong one. He's the dumb brute, but he's like, brother, do this, and he like smashes through a door and something like that.
Yeah, hurt people. Yeah,
that'd actually be a cool take. What was the other ones you said? Brave New World.
Brave New World, which has already been done.
As I say, if it doesn't have to have been
in
done
like 2002, but I actually would probably prefer like a proper one. That and Animal Farm.
Pretty Animal Farm's been done, I assume. I feel like Animal Farm would have been done by now.
Oh, I'm sure it's been done at least once.
And also this other book which I read.
I would love to. I'd love
one
to.
One Day of the Year, which is all based around Anzac Day. So it's Australian serious comedy kind of thing.
I'd love to see Well, I know Children of Flies.
You mean Lord of the Flies?
Lord of the Flies. Sorry, I was called Children of Flies. I know Lord
Children
of the
of Men is another film.
Flies. I know Lord of the Flies has been done a few times.
Have we? I think we talked about it, saying like it'd be cool if they did like a teenager adaptation.
Yeah.
Because that can actually be like super brutal and like
and I'd love to see
interesting,
that.
just because of like the way teenagers deal with things. Because we know how adults, we know how kids from the book.
Yeah.
But do teenagers now?
Yeah, and like, because again, like essentially have like not take place in high school, but high school, so like the whole high school mentality, but given the power of like full control over something.
And even like, I don't know, like it could potentially change the whole dynamic, because I mean...
Or it could be like an apocalypse type thing, which is very unoriginal, but they do like an apocalypse where only a handful of teenagers survived and the rest, and they have to kind of survive in this empty
Well, that's
world.
the whole thing.
Because Lord of the Flies is also, it's all boys, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all boys.
Is it only?
I
Yeah.
believe it's only boys.
Because they're doing a Lord of the Flies adaptation where it's all
with all girls.
I'm like,
Oh,
what?
wait, yeah, they are doing that, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, and I'm
I
like-
heard about it. I had that in my mind. I was like, did I dream that? No, it does actually
See,
exist.
I'm curious, 'cause I'm like, well, this perspective change is pretty unique, but at the same time, it's like,
Why does it have to be?
It still makes a different film, yeah.
yeah,
That is interesting.
that's the one thing where I haven't boycotted it, because it does feel very like SJW-ish, where it's just like, something that's male predominant, let's make it female predominant, like for no reason whatsoever, just because we can. But at the same time, that does actually offer a pretty unique
Because
viewpoint.
obviously,
So I'm
Of like the differences in the way the brains operate.
so I actually am pretty keen for a Lord of the
I
Flies.
hope it's done well, because I feel
Yeah.
like if it's done badly, like it's one of those films where like if it's done badly,
just
like
gonna be
the
like-
amount of people that could just be like debating
Yeah.
and just hating it, yeah.
Yeah. Like, it could be a Ghostbusters, like,
Yeah.
remake, for all we know. I hope not, because Lord of the Flies does lend quite a bit to being done really well. Like,
Yeah.
but I like Bo was said before, like, I would love to see a teenage adaptation, like, teenage all men, all boys adaptation of, Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, because if it is both, like if
Yeah.
it is men and like boys and girls, then obviously it does make the dynamics super different.
Yeah.
Again,
But
yeah,
I really love
Yeah.
the
There's no sex, it's just like violence. It's all just boys. It's all just violence.
yeah. That's why I really like the idea of
I feel like they would make it into like a teen drama.
no.
A bit though.
I feel like that
Yeah,
that would be
they would.
that'd be the easy way to go.
Like Maze Runner or like Divergent style.
See, that would be
almost.
the
Oh,
easy.
straight up like Maze Runner, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that would be the easy way to go.
Which they probably would take.
I feel like if they did like
But I
a
feel
co-ed
like the
type
right
thing.
director or like right writers could be like, no, we are going to veer as far away from. As
Well, yeah,
possible.
because if it's like teenagers, like if they want to be, you know, as realistic as possible, like a bunch of, you know, like teenagers on an island, be brutal as fuck,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
horrifying.
yeah, and that would be
Horrible.
the unique thing. Like I'd love to see like the mindsets of just like people clash, and it'd also be like a really dark coming of age story at the same time, where it's just like.
Because I haven't actually, because we only
I've read
observed-
almost all of
'Cause
Lord of the
there's a-
Flies.
we
I
only-
haven't read the last.
Do you have a copy?
No, I don't have.
I've got one, so when you can read it sometime.
Oh, exactly. I would
do
love
actually
to,
have a copy.
I would love to
somewhere.
reread Lord of the Flies.
Got
I
like a
only-
70s copy.
Because
Such
I
a good
only
book.
we only analysed certain parts of the film and the book. So I mean,
It's essentially just a book.
do they escape? Do they or do they?
I
just,
haven't read the end of it. I don't
I
mind,
mean, you
it's
would
got-
have seen adaptation. You would have
Yeah.
seen the Simpsons episode.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, I believe at the end, like people do come and get them, but you don't actually like. It's people coming to get them, but you don't get any consequences to the action.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
And I think
makes
like one of them
sense.
just breaks the hell down because like by the time they come to get them, the whole point is like so much damage has already been done.
Yeah, so there's no point. And, like,
I mean, if they're just,
it's just boys stuck on an island, and it's just like they have free reign.
Yeah.
Not free reign to do whatever they want, but they have to like.
they have to work together in like a survival environment.
Essentially, what happened if boys were forced to be adults?
yeah.
Like, and it's the.
because they're only like
the-
what,
and
like
it's-
10 or 11, weren't
They're
they?
only young.
and it gets brutal, and it becomes very like.
Yeah, because I know in the film they actually like freaking just smashed one kid's head in with like a massive boulder.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they do, don't they?
it like it's not like, oh, these kids must survive. It's like, no, what would happen if 10-year-olds were stuck on an island together?
It would be absolute havoc.
Exactly, and
That's,
that's
I mean, that teenage was so much worse.
yeah.
Like,
I would love to see a teenage movie where it's just like, what happened if like a bunch of 16-year-old men
Jesus.
were just stuck on an island?
well, yeah, because like boys would like beat each other up, but yeah, like 16-year-olds would fucking kill each other.
Yeah.
They would. And probably rape
Like,
someone.
exactly.
Do some like horrible shit.
Yeah, it's
But-
gonna be horrible.
and it'd be like the ultimate test, essentially. I feel like that'd be a super unique way of looking at it, and even the girls' way actually is really unique. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I haven't written it.
Teenage in general is just would be if they did it right.
I
it's
hope
just-
it
it's
is
always
like for this
interesting.
all girls. I think it is girls. I hope it's like 10-year-old girls, because I feel like that would be the teenage route for teenage girls would be a bit. I feel like I'll give my joke reason. I'll give my act reason. My joke reason: nothing would get done. People would just walk to opposite ends of the
Yeah,
island
yeah.
and not talk to each other. But,
I actually don't know. Yeah, I don't know what like a just teenage girl version of Lord of the Flies would be. I'd be curious to see that because
Yeah.
I just don't know.
But I'd love to see a 10-year-old girl's version. Like, I'd love to see that mindset, because that'd be like really cool and interesting, and like it actually add a lot. Man, Lord of the Flies is cool. Just in fiction wise, just a really cool idea. But like there's that. Lord of the Flies is my big one. The Legend of Drizzt books is another big one I'd love to see. And what is it?
I was just thinking of like...
I'd love to see like either as a series, because I know there's an animated series, but I'd love to see a live action series of Del Toro.
Yeah.
That would be
The TV series is actually really good.
Well, I'd love to see a live action version. I would love a live action version of just like the Del Toro quest. I think that'd be amazing. Like just really fun fantasy. I don't feel like it'd work because fantasy is the hardest genre to get right. Purely like true sword and sorcery fantasy, because like it's been done in ways where it's like you either have to be on par with Lord of the Rings or as gritty as Game of Thrones to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
You have to be one of the two.
And yeah, the bar's been set so high in both cases.
And how many fantasy movies have come out where have just not been that good?
A lot.
Like, there's just so many. Like, even before, Lord of the Rings is probably the only truly great fantasy, like, sword and sorcery fantasy film. The only great one where it's like, this so great that, like, the Academy gave it awards and was like, yeah, no, this is pretty damn good. Every other one's been like, eh. Like, King Arthur Legend of the Sword wasn't very good. Like, it's good, but not, like...
I was gonna say, what about, like... Could you imagine, like,
they're
a
either
teenage...
They're either dumb fun or just really bad.
I was like, could you imagine, like, a teenage... Lord of the Flies, just going back to this, as kind of like a Breakfast Club type thing, but a little bit less thinky?
More thinky.
It's a direction you could take it in if you were to make it. Yeah, like you could make them like, oh, hey, you know, what if they weren't like... Because I think about high school and I think about, you know, like a bunch of teenagers from our high school, but think about like nice high schools.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, most people get along with each other.
Yeah.
And they're not just trying to kill each other.
It'd be like a survival story, not like a mental...
Yeah, it'd be survival.
Not like a mental, like, torture story, essentially.
Yeah, like not actually, you know, like lord, like not actually like, you know,
a lord
trying to get a lord.
Yeah.
Like trying to be king of the island.
Yeah.
Just working together and dealing with that.
That'd also be an interesting take as well. I think Lord of the Flies is one of the things where, like, it's been done a lot, but like there's so many interesting ways. Purely just by changing a simple dynamic, you essentially change the entire story around.
Because you could have either, you know, like just going back to that case, either, you know, if it's like a bad school, like they're all monsters once they get them, so they try and find the humanity.
Yeah.
Or they're all good when they go there and they try and keep it. And
then they lose, or they can either lose it or like they get tested. And so like there's, like, it's such a dynamic story where you can take it so many different ways. Is there any other books we'd love to see adapted into like movies or TV shows?
A lot of the books that I'm thinking of are very much young adult.
I love to see Aragon done right, even though I'm not a big fan of the books. I think that the concept's pretty nifty. Like, I'm surprised we don't have a Dungeons and Dragons cinematic universe.
Yeah, well, Ball's Dungeons and Dragons movie. Wait, no, the Dungeon Seed. Sorry, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, yeah, he didn't do Dungeons and Dragons. There was that awful Dungeons and Dragons movie though, from the 2000s with Jeremy Irons and stuff. Yeah, really bad. I'm surprised we don't have. This is around. I'm surprised we don't have a Dungeons and Dragons cinematic universe because, well, the whole allure of playing it is you create your own stories, but there's all these preset things where it's like you could easily make a movie out of this. Like a really solid fantasy movie, like Legend of Drizzt, that is part of the D&D universe, would lend to it so quickly.
There are some D&D film video adaptations, but they're not great.
Well, there's some good, like Record to Lotus War of Lotus War, which is that anime I showed you a bit of. That is massively inspired by D&D, and it's so fun to watch. And the Dragonlance novels as well. Like there's some really good. Like I feel like you could make an amazing universe, a cinematic universe out of Dungeons and Dragons. You'd have to put the time. You'd have to treat it like Lord of the Rings. Like you'd have to put the time and effort in. You'd have to like not be like we can just CG that or we can just like do whatever. Be like no, we need to make this a believable world that people can get behind. Like either treat it like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, one of the two, because they're like the epitomes of each spectrum of fantasy. Like, Lord of the Rings is the epitome of, like, classic fantasy.
It's called high fantasy, isn't it?
Yeah, high fantasy. Like, it is just, like, good versus evil. Not really gritty, but it's just, like, you know, like, swords, magic, and, like, adventures. And as Game of Thrones is that gritty, like, realistic fantasy where it's just, like...
Realistic.
You know what I mean? Like, Lord of the Rings is the furthest thing away from realistic. As where Game of Thrones...
The smart man wins.
Yeah. Like, and the whole, like...
Yeah.
And how brutal it is and how it's not about heroes versus villains. It's about people versus people. Yeah. And, like, the magic is there, but it's very grounded and very, like... Well, not
If
anymore.
it was something else, it would have been like
Yeah.
Ned Stark chopping off Tywin Lannister's head.
Yeah.
And not essentially the other way around.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's how I say like they're both the opposite spectrums of what you can do with fantasy. And there's obviously middle areas and like and stuff like that. But like, so I feel like if you're gonna do a Dungeons and Dragons universe, you have to do it in the vein of one of those, and with the amount of effort and time each of those took. Yes. Is there any other? Let's move into our last segment, which is what we've been playing, / doing, / watching, / anything. Or before that, Shape of Water is pretty awesome. Go see it. Highly recommend.
Probably not going to do too well at the box office, but it didn't cost too much to make.
Yeah, it's more of like an indie art project for Del Toro. Which is good. It is cool to see him go to smaller films because he made Crimson Peak, which was a bit bigger, but that didn't do amazingly well from what I heard. Which doesn't surprise me because I heard that Crimson Peak wasn't very good. But this is like it's not just like a fine Del Toro. It's a great Del Toro movie, one of his best. Like I put it up there with Pan's Labyrinth and Pacific Rim.
Oh wow.
Like I said, it would be in my top 3 favorite easily, and I cannot wait to see it again. Like it's gonna be one of it might even be my favorite like romance movie, even though it's not solely a romance, but like it's like my favorite romantic movie. Like that's stuff like that. Yeah. Go see Shape of Water if you haven't seen it. It's good. Now we went to the last segment, which is favorite. Like what have we been doing? Games and playing / watching /
playing / watching.
My brain just like failed just then. It was like let's rename the segment while we're going at it. Yeah, so what have you guys been up to? Game.
Been watching some. Oh wait, no. Did I say I don't think I've been? We've recorded a podcast since I started playing Growlancer properly.
No, you did.
I did.
You mentioned it last podcast.
Okay.
I think if I'm wrong. Oh well.
No, wait. When did we record it? No, because I got it that Thursday. Remember?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not. Oh yeah.
And
well, you've mentioned Growlancer before on the podcast though.
oh yeah. Anyways.
But yes.
Been still playing that. Also watched this cool, new, not really new adaptation of this old anime called Devilman.
It is new.
It's a new adaptation.
What we're watching is new.
Yeah.
Yes. The Netflix produced anime Devilman Crybaby.
Which is absolutely incredible.
It's actually really
good.
good.
It sounds stupid just from the name, but it actually makes total sense, and I love the name and I love everything about it so far.
Super dark, super like
super graphic.
It is so graphic. There's like a rave orgy in the first episode.
Yeah.
Rave orgy.
There's
but like it's not like the bad like it's confronting. It's like it's confronting. It shows like
there's
a lot of
and
shit.
Ass everywhere, but it's like realistically drawn.
Bit of TNA.
Yeah. It's realistically drawn, but not in the sense where it's like everyone looks.
The art style looks very funky.
But that's intentional. It's like it's that really abstract art style, but like
like kind of almost like that wriggly.
But they all look real in a way. Like like it doesn't have anime boobs. It's got like real life boobs. That's what to today, where it's like it doesn't have anime boobs. It's got real like they look like normal boobs. Like they adhere to gravity is what I'm saying. Like
if they have. And they actually were like, no, some Japanese.
It is a very weird anime though.
Yeah.
Like there is just some very weird and just gross things in that. I'm like, thanks Japan. But it's still really. I probably even recommend it to you, Eric, to watch because it is pretty cool. It's only got 10 episodes of.
That's all right.
Yeah,
it's on Netflix as well.
We're only halfway through, so I'm really annoyed that I want.
Only issue is the English dub isn't very good.
No.
So we went back to watching it in Japanese, but like. With subtitles.
Japanese sounds so much better.
Yeah, the English dub isn't the best, which sucks.
Yeah.
But the art style and like the violence and the plot, like episode 4 was really heartfelt. Like that was really good.
Oh, that was and it was really cool because
it's equal parts dark, equal parts hilarious, equal parts like deep.
Yeah.
And really good. Like I love it. It so far I love it anyway. I like how hyper it is. It's hyper everything. Like, it's hypersexual, hyper violent, hyper dark. It's amazing. Yes, what else have you been playing, Danny? Watching? We watched Shape of Water.
Yes, we did.
Kill me.
I think that's it, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been playing, watching, doing, Eric?
I saw John Wick, as I mentioned. It's pretty good.
Such a good movie.
I don't know if I finished Black Mirror when I was on the.
No, I don't think you did. You said you were about a few episodes off.
Yeah, I finished it now.
Oh yeah, was it good all up?
It's a weaker season for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've done 19 episodes total, and I don't think any of those episodes were placed in the top 10.
Oh wow.
It's got some good ones, but also
Some bad
it's
ones.
got like the worst episode they've ever done, and quite possibly the second worst one they've ever done.
Jesus.
But yeah, like the worst one is the worst. Like it's still watchable, but
yeah, that's fair.
it's just it's
Not good.
fucking dumb, man.
Okay.
Playing a bit of Bloodborne,
Yes.
making some good progress in that.
So I mean, same with like me with Demon Souls. I've made some pretty decent progress now. Not stuck on the same area for once. Jesus.
Good stuff.
What else have you been up to?
Well, that's about it.
Oh yeah, I've been playing Demon Souls, more Even Within 2. I haven't started anything new, except for like,
Except for Devilman.
yeah, Devilman's the only new. I've started reading one of the Star Wars novels, which is Leia, Princess of Alderaan, which is really cool. It's written by Claudia Gray. That's pretty cool. And I finished reading Wise Men's Fear, which took me like a year to read.
Oh, I've been reading the Scott Pilgrim comics as well.
Oh yes, you like them?
They're good, yeah. It's really good seeing the differences between the movies. 'Cause I've never actually read them before.
Yeah, I've heard, like there's a lot of differences, but like there's a lot of there's a lot of subtle references to the comic in the movies from what I've noticed. Like
Of
there's
like stuff that they'll like lift out of the comics and just place somewhere else. Like
Yeah.
really memorable lines of dialogue.
yeah,
For what I've gathered, yeah, like the movie, like I'd say, you know, for the comic books is cast really well.
yeah.
And the stuff that they chose to put in the movie was
Yeah.
very wise.
Yeah, like, well done. I think Scott Pilgrim vs. the World might be one of the best adaptations of all time.
Probably,
'Cause
yeah.
it stays really true to the heart of the original thing, but it doesn't make... It changes everything for a good reason. Like,
Yeah.
It's like Lord of the Rings. It stays true to the essence of the story, but changes things because it needs to be changed. It's like, you can't take, like, all 3 books and adapt them page by page to cinema, 'cause or with anything, you can't adapt it page by page, otherwise it's just not going to work. And all the movies that do that are, like, the worst. Like Divergent pretty much copies the book page for page, and it's pretty trash. I wouldn't turn this into a Divergent rant because I hate Divergent so fucking much.
What about Insurgent?
I haven't even seen it. Wait, so there's Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiant.
It's 2 Allegiant movies, aren't there?
Yeah.
But didn't
'Cause it's part
one of them
part two.
was straight to DVD. Like, it didn't even get a theatrical release.
I think it was
The newest one.
Yeah, not Insurgent.
Allegiant.
Allegiant Part 2.
Yeah, it didn't even get a theatrical
Because I don't
release.
remember hearing about it.
That's hilarious. That's how bad it is. Same with Maze Runner. Actually, Maze Runner was alright. I didn't
First
mind.
one's right, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
didn't-
never got around to seeing
It
it.
was pretty cool they run on the maze.
Yeah.
It actually was, yeah, it was cool. Like, I remember having good action scenes.
Yeah, and the monsters were pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The
What is
ending,
Maze Runner about?
people stuck in a maze and you've got to
Run.
try and get out.
Oh, okay.
They do actually run, they don't walk.
Yeah. It is like...
Because it moves, so they have to run.
It's actually like... It's... For a young adult novel adaptation, it's not as young adult novel as it could have been.
Okay.
Like, I've heard Scorch Trials is pretty atrocious, but like...
What's Scorch
that's
Trials?
that's the sequel.
Ah.
And then Death Cure is the new one that's coming out. Maybe we'll
Which
do...
people would care about more if it came out last year, but old mate, like, broke something really badly.
Yeah.
The lead actor broke something.
Oh, yeah.
So they pushed filming back like a
Maybe
year.
we should do like a joke podcast where we talk about all 3.
But I haven't
Maze
seen
Runner.
any of
Well,
them.
we watch them. I'm not gonna buy them on Blu-ray though. They're on Netflix. There's that, but yeah, like it was the first Maze Runner movie's alright, but like it's the most bearable young adult movie I've seen. Like there's been some atrocious ones. Like I don't know if I've mentioned how much I hate the first Hunger Games movie. Like I cannot stand the first Hunger Games.
I never seen it.
I don't mind it, I actually
started-
quite like
only
the shaky
seen
cam.
some-
I hate it. I can't. The Shane Game's not my main issue with it. My main issue is just I found Hunger Games to be really dull. Just like it just wasn't. Not entertaining. It's just it just felt very like lifeless. I love Catching Fire. I think Catching Fire is actually a really tight sequel, but like there's that. But like you know, Maze Runner's alright. But yes, I don't think we're doing anything else.
No.
No. But yeah, we'll end it there. Thanks everyone for listening to our little podcast over here. And if you liked it, then give us an actual like. Just mouse over that like and click it, and your life will be 0.02% better. You'll be yes.
Wow, you're giving us so much credit. I would have expected it only to be 0.001.
Oh wow, Danny, you're giving us so much hate. No, and also, if you want to be notified that when we upload shit, hit that bell button. You know, hit the bell so people know. Man, I feel like such a gross YouTuber saying that.
Smash it.
Smash that like button. Mad lag. Anyway, so like, yeah, do that, and then share it with your friendos if you want. It's alright if you do. And also, we have other shows as well, and stuff. But yes, Danny, where can they find us?
On social media, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. On Facebook, you can find us on facebook.com/ the Ramblers official podcast. And then on Twitter, you can find us at podcast_Rambler with a capital R.
Cool. Sorry, I had spaced out for a second there.
Yeah.
I was like, I was looking at my PS2 like, man, I miss... Actually, no, I don't miss PS2. Go away. I like this generation of gaming. Yes. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you all next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Cool.